Good morning, everybody. How's things since the last time we talked?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
A little bit today, yeah. We'll tuck it out.
We'll tucker it out. We just talked on the pre-show, so now this is stupid, right?
I know. Like we're just coming on.
Right.
Hey!
We already did 10 minutes. Wah, 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 wah. Don Rickles was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Jimmy Kimmel's really doing that. The host has to sit higher than the guest thing.
Oh, yeah?
All late-night talk show hosts do that, but Kimmel's really taking advantage of it.
Yes.
And he sits way higher than the guest.
He's 87.
Rickles is 87?
Oh.
Puts you in the power position.
Oh, always, yeah.
There was a brilliant bit with Andy Kaufman back in the day where he kind of...
He took it to the, as they say, umpteenth level.
Yeah, his chair was, 10 feet off the ground?
Yeah, it was a giant chair. It looked like a judge.
And he was looking straight down at his guest who had to look way up.
Yeah.
To talk to Andy Kaufman as a talk show host on this, I don't know, comedy special he did or whatever. Loved Andy Kaufman. God, I love that guy.
He really liked uncomfortability.
That's why I love him, Jimmy.
Yeah, he really thrived in that.
That spoke to me when I was growing up.
Making people uncomfy.
Yes, I love it.
Uncomfy.
He did it on comedy clubs, too. He didn't do it in these special rooms.
Right.
He did it in just regular old comedy clubs.
There were people would just get pissed.
Yeah.
He would read, The Great Gatsby? And people would go, oh, that's funny. He's just reading The Great Gatsby.
It's funny for fucking a couple of minutes, maybe.
But that's the brilliance of Andy Kaufman. He's like, oh, yeah, you think this is funny that I did this? He wouldn't stop until the last person left the comedy club. I'm sure somebody sat all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he cleared out the room by just reading The Great Gatsby.
Yes.
Instead of doing his stand-up. And then on Ellen... We said this was going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
You weren't here. It was Friday. It was Rich Voss was in, and there's this stewardess on Southwest, and she decided to, have fun with the announcements. And she was basically doing a stand-up routine.
Right.
And, Jimmy loved it. I loved it. And Rich Voss hated it and couldn't understand why we would love it so much. But I did say that she would be on Ellen.
And there she is.
And guys like, Rich Voss, he can't get on Ellen. And he's way funnier. He's way funnier than this broad.
Yeah.
But I did say that it seems like she's trying to, be a stand-up on the side or something. Cause
not just some flight attendant. She's got some prepared material.
Yeah, it was. Did you see this? Just part of it? We don't have to play the whole thing again.
You can pretend to have your attention for just a few moments. My ex-husband, my new boyfriend, and their divorce attorney are going to show you the safety features of Boeing 737-800 series. It's been a long day for me. To properly fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat end of the buckle to release lift up on the buckle. Position your seatbelt tight and low across your hips like my grandmother wears her support bra. If you get mad and you want to take your toys out home, there's 8 ways to get there. 2 forward exit doors, short wing window exits, 2 rear exit doors, signs overhead, disco lights on the floor lead each exit. Everybody gets a door prize in the seat back pocket in front of you, along with 30 diapers, chewing gum wrappers, banana peels, and all other gifts you leave for us from time to time. It's a safety information card. Take it out, check it out. You'll notice in the highly unlikely event that the captain lends a snare a hot tub, everybody gets
nice implants, right? You're looking at that.
I wrote my prediction down.
You did.
Strap around your waist, buckle it in front, pull the tighten. Once outside, pull down on the red tab, inflate to manually inflate below the tube at your shoulder. The flight attendants are coming by, hoping that you'll tell them how good looking they are. They're going to make sure that your seat backs and stays everywhere in your full, upright, and absolute most comfortable position possible. And your carry-on items are crammed and shoved completely under the seat in front of you, leaving absolutely no room for your knees or feet. As you know, it's a no smoking, no whining, no complaining flight. It's a please and thank you, and you are such a good-looking flight attendant flight. Smoking is never allowed on board a Southwest because smoking in the lavatory the fact that that's $2,000, and if you want to pay that for your airfare, you should have flown somebody else. If we do make you that nervous the next hour and a half, you're more than welcome to step outside. We don't discriminate at Southwest. We have a special smoking section just for you. We'll even show you a movie tonight. We have Up in the Air. As a flight attendant serving you, her name is Wendy, and her motto is, if you can light it, you can smoke it. Having a long group is tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector or webcam in either of our laboratories. Federal aviation regulation require passenger compliance with the light of passenger information signs and passenger placards. Basically,
there you
just
go.
do what we say and nobody gets hurt. And although the
She's
difference
killing.
She's killing.
No, I don't know if I was wrong. This was my prediction.
What?
I wrote Anthony will hate her.
Of course.
You know what? I don't.
I sort of said the same thing on Friday. I mean, I don't.
You hate her. I know. I
yeah.
could tell. I could tell.
I mean, I don't hate it, but
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're laughing so hard at her. I mean,
You
she's
know
well
why?
prepared. She's
I'll
done that
tell you
a million
why.
times.
It's obvious why.
Why?
People are nervous flying a fucking plane. Anything that takes you out of that standard issue fucking flight
Right.
makes you feel good. You feel like if she's doing that, you're not going to crash.
Right.
For some fucking reason, you're like, no, this plane won't crash. We got a funny fucking flight attendant.
It's a great angle. JetBlue likes to have a little fun, too.
They needed the money.
The pilot will like have some levity.
yeah.
And then you're right. It kind of makes you.
Malaysian Airlines is hilarious, too. Those pilots are a hoot.
Yeah, remember that joke that he told? I hope you kiss your loved one goodbye.
We're gonna fly 8 hours into nothingness?
Yeah.
Until we run out of fuel.
Wait, we are.
Yeah, he's playing Into the Wild soundtrack with Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
Yeah, people are very nervous, so they'll laugh at anything.
If the pilots make just a slight little joke, or a little something,
Everything's got to be okay.
You breathe a little easier, I think. But
Isn't that good when you hear that boom?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're like,
Right.
if he's got time to chat with us, nothing's on fire in the cockpit.
I think if the pilots talk just a little more, I think so many more people would
just be cool. Yeah,
would have an okay,
absolutely
time with flying.
Yeah.
But the point here, to stick up for our stand-up friends, that's what frustrated Rich, and even though Jimmy was fucking with Rich, Jimmy as well, she's making it look like anyone could do their craft.
I don't know why
well.
I didn't. It was fun to watch Voss get so offended and annoyed, but I really don't like good-natured stuff. That's what annoys me. Is
that was
good-natured. I don't know why it bugs me. It stinks. Like, I don't like little fun jokes that everyone on the plane likes.
You didn't like the low around the hips, like Grandma's
no.
bra?
I guess because in those moments, I think of how many
saggy tits,
brutal things you could say.
Yeah.
There's so many really mean, awful. Like, I just hate the thing that makes everyone feel okay.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
No, I'm like, you ought to just really fucking
it was
belly
making
punch
everyone
them.
feel okay. You should heckle her, though. Yeah. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Jesus.
Just ruin her act.
You want to hear a little more
boy,
of
that gets you in trouble.
Yes, it would get you in trouble.
You want to hear a little more?
Oh.
Boy, this woman's bombing! No, you're in trouble.
Would you imagine just yelling, "You suck!"
Right.
Boo!
They would hate you. People would look at you like, oh, she's up there doing a good job, and you're being a fuddy-duddy.
But she delivered it flawlessly. I had to say that.
She's done this a million times. She has 3 to 4 good, good minutes of material that she knows goes over well.
Southwest, huh? She had nice tits.
Yes, she did.
Big implants.
Yeah.
You could see the old lady elbows, though.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
They got to figure that out for the old ladies that have the big, giant, brand new breasts. Yeah.
Oh,
the neck they're figuring out a little bit, but you can't hide those elephant elbows.
Popeye elbows.
Right. Why don't you hear a little more, because you're enjoying it so much.
Lots of cabin pressure. If we did, we certainly wouldn't be at work tonight. But if needed, for oxymask the off the compartment overhead. Stop screaming, let go of your neighbor, pull under that plastic tubing is fully extended, place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. To activate the flow of oxygen, simply insert 75 cents for the first minute and 50 cents for each minute. Although that plastic bag may not inflate, you are receiving lots and lots of gin. Oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry. If you're traveling with more than one child, pick out the one that you think might have the most earning potential down the road. And if you're traveling with somebody needing very special assistance, like your husband, bless his heart, or your wife, put on your mask first. That's it for the do's and don'ts of show and tell. Sit back and relax, or you can sit up and be tense. Either way, so never that clock, game the clock's already ticking. Seriously, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please tell us. Just as soon as we land in Salt Lake City. And if there's anything you can do to make our flight more enjoyable, we'll tell you immediately. We're just flying in Southwest. That's what we call very cheap entertainment. Nobody had to pay extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. That's thanks for choosing Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Holy shit.
They're fucking a flying comedy club.
I would jump up and say something.
Would you, Chip? What would you say?
I don't know, whatever.
Of course you don't know
Thank
whatever.
you. Thanks for that. But She made it to Ellen yesterday, is the point.
Oh, that's
why
good.
we replayed that.
I wish Voss was here. He'd be so unhappy.
Because I
man.
said this would happen. This was perfect for Ellen or Jimmy Kimmel. Not Jimmy Kimmel, probably Jimmy Fallon.
She's going to take off, I bet. Oh, see what I did there? A little good-natured.
A star is born. She's not going to be a stewardess for too much longer.
Oh, man.
Let's see what Ellen said about this. I didn't see this clip yet.
10 million people viewed our first guest video. Take a look at a little bit of this.
Oh, God.
Pretend to have your attention.
Oh, we don't need to hear it again.
Seriously, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your...
How long have you been a flight attendant number one?
About 7.5 years, and I just have to tell you how happy I am to be
She's
here
touching
and
Ellen's
how
hand.
much I love you and respect and admire you.
Oh,
and
God.
I just
She's got a tissue in her hand.
She has great legs.
I can watch your show, and in an hour you can make me laugh and cry, and I just adore you. I just think you're wonderful.
So you're
Thank
a
you very much.
psychopath.
That's obviously you had an impact on me as well, because I thought that was not only because people try to be funny on flights, but that was really funny. That whole thing.
Jim,
if you go online, it's like
Blowing
3
gassers.
minutes
It's pretty funny.
of
It's a fucking
very
riot.
funny stuff. And how long have you been
I'm a
doing
panic.
it that way?
You know, we did learn it a certain way. I was trained a certain way, and I just, at some point in time, just kind of put my own spin on it.
You
And it's just so
rebel.
much more fun to make people laugh and let them relax. You know how stressful flying can be, and so it's just made it more fun. And it
Yes.
just, in my little tube in the sky, I can make a difference in some people's lives.
Make
And
a
it does.
difference.
That's an important place to make a difference, because people are fearful of flying and people are going for different reasons that may be sad to them. And you start out getting their attention by saying, "Can I pretend to have your attention for a minute?" Because no one is paying attention.
No.
And we should be paying attention, because what you're saying is very
You don't have
important
to pay
stuff.
attention.
And you're
You know
working
everything already.
your
Right.
ass
Jesus
off up
Christ.
there. I
Gotta
mean,
run
you
up and
know,
help.
I always think
Yeah.
that is a
We're crashing
thankless
stream.
job. You
That's the end of the
are walking
announcements.
around serving people and taking care of people, and people are rude. And so
Just
I
shake your
admire
little
what
ass
you
and get
do,
me a
and the fact
beverage.
that you care
Exactly.
about making people
Yeah, it's
happy
right.
and,
Touch, little
and
nipple
making
tweak.
a difference in their day.
Flush.
You're an amazing.
She's having a serious talk with. You can keep
know.
playing it, Sal. We're not going to
That's
miss
how I
anything.
am.
Yeah.
We'll just battle over it.
She loves Ellen, though, with her great legs.
Yeah.
So
She looks real nice, all
you have
cleaned
3
up.
children.
This
You have 2
stewardess.
daughters and a son, and 2 your daughters are here.
Yeah.
Your son
Whoa!
Hold on.
Pause.
I apologize for anything negative I said about this delightful
Sal.
woman.
Good one, Sal, you fucking
Way to
moan.
go.
There you go, Sal.
Jesus, Sal, you
Boo.
pause it after they get back
We're
to...
pausing on her daughters.
That one on the right is fucking
Smoking.
See, I like the one on the left.
No.
Yeah, I like them both. I like the one on the
Wrong
left.
with you.
The one on the right is so much hotter than the one on the left.
I
But they're
agree.
both completely doable.
I think there might be 2 fathers involved
Right?
here, because they're
Wow, that
the
chick
one on the
is
right
fucking
has
hot.
full lips.
Yeah, the one on the left is
She's
Julia
14
Roberts.
years old.
Oh, no, they might be young. That's right.
I don't know how old they
No,
are.
that fucking old bat is fucking... Got to be above, like, what, 45?
25.
She's, oh, thank you. The hell is,
Oh, what is
Wait,
that?
what?
What do you,
This is interesting.
What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. Tums?
Huh?
You need Tums. Ann needs Tums today.
What's the matter?
A little. I don't know. I was driving in, and now it's not bothering me. When I was driving in, I was kind of a little. I had some
burpee.
I had some Vincent's, some Vincent's.
Can't pause on this
some
show.
jizz, some Vincent's Italian last night.
Oh,
and I think
really?
It's, yeah, I'm still tasting that shit.
Nice.
You get reflux? I get bad reflux.
A little bit if
Not anymore.
If I have a lot of a spicy sauce or something.
Not anymore. I haven't had acid reflux in a year and a half at
What'd you
least.
take? What? How'd you order it?
I think it was the coffee. I don't know. I think I was drinking way too much coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you?
And I don't stress as much. I just said fuck it to stress. That's what I say.
Yeah?
Fuck it to stress.
Fuck it to stress. Oh, another
You say
t-shirt.
fuck it to
Jesus
stress.
Christ.
Oh, thank you. Let me write that down. No. We're trying to build a t-shirt factory because we can't.
Fuck it to stress.
We can't keep up with the orders. My guy fucking panicked on me, and I think he ran away. I got to find somebody else.
Fucking took off.
He panicked. He couldn't fill the orders.
Oh, wow.
We sold way too many of those dumb shirts. I had no business selling as many as I did. So, no, I like this guy. Kelly. He's cool. We're just trying to figure it out.
My guy had no problem keeping up with the orders.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of time around
I didn't
the
have a
warehouse.
catchphrase.
It's all about using your own handwriting. I realized. Are we going back to that thing?
All right.
All right. So that's our hot daughters.
Man. Wow. Ellen's fucking
Do you
drooling.
understand how cool your mom is? I mean, she's a YouTube star.
Yeah. I mean, we've known how cool she is for a while, but I'm so happy that others get to see it now. She's so positive and so deserving of this. I'm so happy that we're here. We all love you so much. And I don't get to tell her enough, so I'm glad we can bring her out here and show her to the world how awesome she is.
Yeah, you
I
are.
want to know why the daughters look so different.
Yeah.
She's hot for an older woman, though.
But was she having some fun in some of these cities?
Maybe.
You travel a lot, and you can help
Look
promote
at us
the
trying
show
to
in a
knock her
better way.
down.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
really
Nice
convinced
lady.
that-
Just a nice
that when you
piece, right?
travel,
Boxers?
well,
Someone's bringing her, ran up and brought her a piece of luggage.
Why would she love luggage?
I was just watch Ellen on it with Ellen's dumb picture.
right, and then
It's terrible.
Well, Ellen is.
there's
What's
stuff
inside?
Okay.
that's
Oh, it's a joke.
already packed
Of course, Ellen
in it.
isn't that bad.
Gosh. First of all, you have Beats headphones.
Oh, Beats headphones, nice.
Vaginal and anal beads.
Ellen underwear.
You have Ellen socks.
Ellen socks.
You have Ellen, my book, my CD.
Wow.
Ellen dildo.
Thank God.
Oh my
She's got Voss's
You
act
have it
coming
on
out of
now,
this.
so you can just, and a pillow. And
Awesome.
And a blanket.
Oh my gosh.
And then
this is awesome.
you have a $1,000 Visa gift card.
Whoa.
Don't
wow.
cry over $1,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for a
$2,000
peasant.
J.C. Penney. $3,000
okay.
Target. $4,000. Oh, Radio Shack. Hell, you're gonna buy in Radio Shack for $4,000.
The entire chain.
A lot of shitty batteries.
I couldn't think of companies.
Oh, now the daughters are on the.
God
Ooh.
damn.
We
Let's
gotta-
see her legs.
I don't think this is working. I'll be honest.
What's the matter?
I don't think it's working.
The segment?
I just realized how
For
much
us
our
or Ellen?
listeners must hate our guts for this,
Yes.
and you're not wrong.
I don't think it's working.
No. We're watching Ellen.
This was
No.
a throwaway story. I don't think
Jesus
this is working.
Christ.
I literally
That's true.
forgot we were on the air. We're watching
I
Ellen.
did too. I just wanted to see the daughters now that they're up on the
I think we got
stage.
distracted by the daughters. I think
We
we were.
did.
I think
We
we were
did.
ready to tap out, and then the one daughter was pretty
Yeah.
smoking.
Yep, you're
We're
right.
watching Ellen on the radio.
Yeah,
How
that's
awful.
bad.
Oh,
We're
she.
talking about how cool your mom is, and you have a brother, but he couldn't be here because he's studying and he didn't want to fail. It's a very important exam. So that's more important, and I.
Wow, look at the legs on the wall.
Holy
But,
shit.
We haven't yet.
You haven't.
Smoking.
And where does he go to school?
Tarleton State in Stephenville, Texas.
All right.
Wow.
Boy.
And I know you're a single mom, and you have been raising all 3 kids on your own, and they want to continue their
single
education.
mom.
And they
Okay,
are
so
working hard to
I
do
bet you're
that,
right. There's
and
2
you're
pilots.
traveling and doing a lot.
I think
And
something's
it's a lot
wrong.
for you. It's a whole lot for you.
She's only been a
So our
stewardess
friend
for 7 years,
Jennifer wanted to give you
supposedly.
$10,000.
They just gave her.
What'd they give her?
You their education, and they are working hard to do that. And you're traveling and doing a lot. And it's a lot for you. It's a whole lot for you. So our friends at Shutterfly want to give you $10,000.
Oh, 10 G's.
What the fuck? I make YouTube videos.
10
Yeah.
G's.
Where's my 10 G's from Shutterfly?
Shit.
See how you get the sponsors to do shit?
Oh, right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank
They just throw
Thank you
money
for-
around like it's
like
nothing.
you said, just for,
And we got,
the
what,
littlest
3
bit
shitty sponsors?
Oh,
that
they're
you can do
great.
to add
I
joy
mean,
into other
of course they're
people's
great.
lives.
But you know, Steven Singer loves when we call him shitty and
Yeah.
all that.
But like, look at that little nothing, like a boring flight attendant thing. But she's a pretty good interviewer, and she got something out of it. And then they
Sure.
want to just give him shit.
Yeah, it makes her look good.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should do that with the flight attendant, but maybe the daughters.
Yeah.
Just by watching your show, and
Wow.
I can't tell you how much it means
All right.
to us. For you,
What?
for
She
Enough
made a
of this
dumb video.
family.
more than anyone in
She
this
does
world.
deserve it. I know your story. I know a little bit about it, and it's a lot to be a single
Jesus
mom and to raise
Christ,
3
that
amazing
fucking-
kids who are doing
I'm
very
very
well.
blessed.
They're doing real well.
one's
So
really hot.
All right,
They're all
thank you.
crying. They're really nice people.
The fuck?
Ooh, I want to eat the hiney of that one in the middle. She's all tall and awkward. Come here, you 6'8" fucking monstrosity.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Look.
I hope they're not underage. I'm gonna feel fucking shitty. If they're underage.
Nah,
Well,
I think
they-
they're in college.
Oh, okay, good.
Who knows? I mean,
I don't know.
They cleaned up adult.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
they
who
look
knows?
fine.
But I mean,
Wow.
Give her a smooch right where the tinkle comes out.
That's everything Ellen was saying.
the point being, we said it should be on Ellen. She was on
And
Ellen.
there she is.
We didn't need to spend 15 minutes.
I know,
on it.
I
right?
literally just watched an Ellen segment like
Jesus
fucking girls.
Christ. Bunch of bitches in this room.
4 middle-aged women watching Ellen. We're swooning over Ellen. 4 broads.
And it was just Ellen having a nice interview.
Yeah.
There was nothing funny about it.
No.
I do find Ellen funny. I got to be honest with you. Did you like Ellen DeGeneres' stand-up there, Jimmy?
She's funny. She's a good but I remember when, I think we've talked about this, but years ago when she came out in a young comedian special and she had on like kind of like a Brian Regan-ish type, like, you know, boyish shirt.
Right.
Like the tucked-in, blousy 80s.
Yeah.
And she was funny. I remember she was doing something about singing into a hairbrush, and I can't remember, but back then I remember enjoying her.
Yeah.
Before I did stand-up.
Yeah, she was about the same time as like Paula Poundstone, though,
yes,
right?
Sure,
So those two got like confused.
Well,
I confused them.
Paula Poundstone got very confused for a while.
Yes, she did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she had a hobby on the side. Whatever happened with that? She's good now.
Stepdaughters or whatever. There's some weird allegations.
Some allegations of some
alligators,
some touching, I believe.
Paula is really odd looking in that. She looks like Tiny Tim.
Is she funny? I never got into Paula Poundstone.
I remember one bit she did that I thought was fun, but something about committing suicide.
Yeah.
But it was in a public garage. So she had her car running and someone left and then came back an hour later and she was still sitting there waiting to die. I don't even remember what the jokes were.
Yeah.
All right. What else is going on?
Wow.
That was supposed to be maybe 4 minutes.
I know. Wait, we got carried away. We would if she didn't bring those goddamn daughters with her, we wouldn't have gone that deep. But
I'm just cutting the haters off at the pass.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I told you.
I'm acknowledging that was supposed to be 4 minutes. Okay, relax.
Even they know they were phoning it in.
Relax.
All right.
Do you have the Chris Christie video? There's so much to do today, but this Chris Christie, your boy Chris Christie, I gotta tell you, I don't like this guy.
I don't like
this guy. He comes across extremely pompous.
Yeah,
and he's just an asshole when it comes to this marijuana issue. And I'm not a marijuana guy. I'm not a marijuana guy.
No.
Nah.
No.
I dipped a couple times in the last year.
Oh,
a little dipping.
Sure.
Once on Rogan's podcast and once at a Pearl Jam show.
Oh.
But I'm not a smoker by any stretch of the imagination. But basically he's saying that he will never allow marijuana use in New Jersey, and it is medically proven to be bad.
Well, I don't know about that, but...
So my point is this, and it's very, very simple. If he feels that way about marijuana, why doesn't he ban alcohol in his state? Well, go try to take that one on.
Well, if you...
And alcohol is way worse than marijuana.
If you watch Boardwalk Empire, you realize that banning alcohol in Jersey and the rest of the country, not that good an idea.
Right. No, of course. and I don't want it banned.
Yeah.
But, you just sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
What was the other thing you said, Jimmy, about this? Overeating? No, what did you say?
Well, Anthony said, what about gambling? And I said,
gambling.
What about compulsive overeating?
Right. Jersey loves their casinos.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's an argument to be made that that's detrimental to people's lives, but he ignores that, of course, right?
Yeah, but the weed.
But the weed is the problem?
That's a problem.
What's the clip? Can we see that really fast?
I wanted to talk to you about legalizing marijuana. I've heard you speak on it before. There's pros and cons with everything. But I just feel legalizing marijuana,
what's her name? Lydia.
It's something that's going to happen down the pipeline. It creates industry. It creates jobs. It creates money, revenue. Look at California. Look at Colorado. What they've done.
Yeah, well,
money they have.
Hey, Sue, let me just stop you right there. You say it's going to come down the road. You know when it may come down the road? When I'm gone. It's not going to come while I'm here. There's a new study out in the Journal of Neuroscience. Just came out this past week. That says that even casual marijuana smokers showed significant abnormalities in two vital brain regions important in motivation and emotion. Some of these people only used marijuana to get high once or twice a week. The co-author was quoted in the Northwestern University Science Newsline. They hailed the study as the first to analyze the effects of light marijuana use. People think a little recreational use shouldn't cause a problem if someone's doing okay with work or school. Our data directly says this is not the case. The study raises a strong challenge to the idea that casual marijuana use isn't associated with bad consequences. I am not going to be the governor who is going to tell our children and our young adults that marijuana use is okay, because it's not. And it's now being medically proven by the Journal of Neurosciences that it's not even in casual, occasional use. So I don't care about the tax money that may come from it, and I don't care, quite frankly, that people think it's inevitable. It's not inevitable here. I'm not going to permit it. Never, as long as I'm governor. You want to elect somebody else who's willing to legalize marijuana and expose our children to that gateway drug and the effects it has on their brain? You'll have to live with yourself if you do that, but it's not going to be this governor.
All right, then take on alcohol. Everything you said about marijuana,
eating,
right? Recreational alcohol use certainly causes some issues and
everything
problems.
From medical problems to car accidents.
Many car accidents.
Yeah,
I think at this point, pretty much all of us know somebody that died from drinking and driving.
And I don't care about the tax money. Well, we do. We're the ones paying the tax.
Yeah,
right.
We care a lot about where the tax money's coming from.
Shouldn't he do what he's a representative?
Constituency.
Yeah. It's not what you want. It's what the people that elected you want.
Oh, what a pompous fuck he is.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny?
Marijuana was the catalyst to a cop getting shot in New Jersey yesterday.
Oh, yeah? How did that figure?
In Garfield.
It was a buy and bust.
A buy and bust for weed?
Yeah.
I don't think the pot had anything to do with the savage animal that decides he's going to shoot at fucking police officers.
Drugs are the root of most of the crime.
Well,
they are. If that was legal, though, they wouldn't have been a buy and bust with.
Well, that's true.
Well, if you control it a little
pot,
better,
it wouldn't have been.
If it's legal.
You know, and
that's true. Hey, believe me, I don't think the majority of pot users are shooting at cops.
Yeah, I don't associate that one with violence.
No.
Booze, I would take booze off the market before pot.
Yeah, but booze is way worse.
Exactly.
He's not going to acknowledge that, though. Why would he? There's too much money that is brought in with booze. Let's say hi to Remy in Missouri. Remy.
Yeah, the study that Christie was talking about showed that there was abnormalities in certain parts of the brain, but the study never concluded whether or not those abnormalities were disadvantageous. I don't know.
See, Chris Christie is probably just getting, like, he seems like he's being at least genuine. He's just getting data handed to him, like they all do. Yeah. And someone is telling him, look, you're right to be against it. Look at this study shows.
But then he's throwing in that morality shit with, like, I'm not going to do anything. Then the children of... shut up.
Well, I would hope he would at least ask our politicians to do a little bit of research before making up their minds on
that would be nice.
Like Ann said, represent the people.
Yeah.
What do the people of New Jersey want?
And I can't stand legislation for adults that's based on your idea of what children need. Oh, shut the fuck up. It's always the way it is with, like, the FCC when they were trying to clamp down on everything as far as entertainment went because the children might see something. Fuck you.
You don't have children, so...
No, I don't.
You should actually...
Oh, that's right.
Actually, I got two, and I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Completely agree with you.
Legislate based on fucking kids.
I'll try to handle that. I'll try to, decide what he's going to watch on TV.
Right.
Because
all that shit.
It's an excuse that people give. It's like, well, they feel it's an inarguable argument that they're putting out. Like, well, what about kids? It's just another way they're making their point. It's just another little bullet in the arsenal. They don't,
Because now, if you pop up an opposing viewpoint, you are against kids being raised in a nice, wholesome atmosphere. That's what they'll come at you with if you try to debate his little fucking
adults
topic.
shouldn't have to sacrifice their own entertainment because the children will be affected.
Or anything. Their occupations, their lifestyle.
Right.
It's always about the children. Fuck you. Oh, hate that.
Yeah, because
raise your own kids.
Raise your own kids.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to TJ in Jersey. TJ.
Morning, fellas.
Hey.
Good morning.
Hello.
Fuck Chris Christie, the fat bastard. His gateway drug is fucking donuts, but he's not.
Oh, shit.
Imagine how big he would be if he was smoking dope.
Yeah.
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 But you know what? What kind of example is he setting for children? Didn't he get apparently the surgery, the lap band, and he's still obese? Is that a healthy example to
I don't think so.
No, of course not.
He's talking about setting examples.
Well, people are looking at you every day, so maybe you should actually really, really drop the weight and live a healthy lifestyle.
Really, you fat fuck.
That would help the children that might be struggling with their own weight.
He turned around and gave me a look.
You want to talk to him?
No.
Should have been.
I don't care about marijuana, but Christie is the reason why I will never vote for a rhino as president.
We don't smoke marijuana in New Jersey.
Anyway.
That's a fucking jam. That's my boy.
What?
Christie? He's my boy, right?
Well, you know, it's the bit we do, I guess.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
I like him, too. I do like him. Just not that shit.
I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way. He's so fucking pompous.
He's trying to fucking position himself the whole time. He's just positioning. He's a Republican. He's lost a lot of his Republican core because of his dealings with Obama and shit like that. So now he's, trying to be the morality police? Trying to come up and go, yeah, oh, good.
Right.
He is a Republican. We almost forgot. Vote for him, vote for him, vote for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
I think I would like him a little more if he would just pull his pants down a little.
Oh, those fucking
They are
pants.
pretty much almost under his nipples.
He is Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty's pants came right up to the part on the egg that started getting small again.
Right.
That's what he does. Yeah,
it's uncomfortable to see how high his pants are all the time. I don't know. There's got to be a better way to do that if you're a bigger gentleman than having to pull your pants way above your belly button.
Way up. The Fred Mertz.
Yeah, the Fred Mertz,
The Fred fucking Mertz.
It's called the Fred Mertz.
With his little tie tucked into his belt.
So,
yeah.
Speaking of Obama, you mentioned him in there.
I certainly did.
Did you see the Donald Trump tweet?
What now? Trump's tweets are ridiculous.
He's great, though.
He should be fired. Right.
Fired.
Heard you.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired. Where's the news story for this?
Oh,
I thought there might have been a news story for this.
No, there's no story. Sam just pointed it out, and I threw it on the prep sheet.
Okay, no worries.
What did he? What did he say?
He tweets about how unprofessional Obama. You want to guess? You'll never guess this one.
How unprofessional
Obama. It's Trump, so you got to think ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not how unprofessional he is.
Right.
It's how unprofessional he does something. That's pretty mundane.
Is it running up and down the steps of the Air Force One?
Salutes?
Nope. Walks.
He just walks silly? That's racist, by the way.
According to Donald Trump. What is the actual tweet there,
He walks like
Sally?
George Jefferson. I think that's
like George Jefferson.
What's the tweet?
The way President Obama runs down the stairs of Air Force One, hopping and bobbing all the way.
Oh, shit.
Is so
racist.
inelegant and unpresidential.
I honestly did not read that.
That's racist.
I did not read that.
Do not
Shucking
fall,
and
he
jiving?
writes? What does he say at the end? Do not fall?
Do not fall! Exclamation point.
I don't care about how Obama gets off a plane.
He trots up and down the steps quickly like he's in shape. Who cares?
I fucking really am not an Obama fan, and I could give a shit about how he walks up and down the stairs.
No, you're happy the faster he gets on the plane if it's leaving the country, and you're sadder if he jogs off.
Bon voyage.
Any other good tweets from Trump while we're on his page?
Interesting how President Obama is flying around in a Boeing 747 on so-called Earth Day.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Where was he going? Trump is just, I don't know. His tweets are very entertaining. What are you going to say? I don't think he's really serious most of the time.
I almost feel like it's just he's
just fucking around.
I don't know. On everybody. I don't know.
Because how would you run a multi-billion-dollar business
and
like him
have time to tweet
and be like that, right?
I don't know.
It's a little kooky.
He's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. All right, we got to take a break. Got a lot.
There he goes.
What?
There he goes. He's getting off the stairs. You see him?
Who cares?
He gives a little run thing, and his hands kind of swing in front of him a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in trot.
Yeah.
He's in Asia. That's where he went.
Oh, yeah?
On Earth Day.
What's he doing there?
Yes, Kenny.
Before you go to break, I heard a good knock-knock joke yesterday. Could I tell it?
Wait, let me get the dump button here. I'll have my fingers on the dump button.
All right. Okay. And I'll say the whole thing. Like, you don't have to say who's there or anything.
I want to. That's part of the fun, Kenny.
I don't think I've ever enjoyed a knock-knock joke. What do you mean you heard a good one?
I don't know.
I enjoyed this one.
All right, go ahead, Kenny.
Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? The police. What do you want? We want to talk. How many are you? There's 2 of us. Then talk to yourselves.
He's enjoying himself.
He's cracking himself up.
He's still laughing.
Then talk to yourselves.
Yeah.
He
goes, yeah.
It should have been, first of all, A, it's arguably the worst joke I've ever heard.
Terrible.
B, it should have been talk to each other.
Right.
Talk to each other.
Right.
Talk to yourselves.
Why would 2 men stand outside just mumble to themselves? It's too weird.
Right.
I wish it was knock knock. Who's there? Pistorius.
Love the Stones. Sticky Fingers, 43 years ago today.
Is that the one with the zipper?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. The zipper album cover.
It used to come with the actual zipper.
Yeah, the zipper. You could try to find mixed cock in there. So what are they saying? A plane debris found in Western Australia?
They said it was significant. They were using those weird, not weird words, but those words where they were being very careful about what they found.
I heard they called it an object of interest.
Object of interest.
There wasn't a tape of this show. No, see, get it? Object of interest.
No, because people would be bored by the tedious nature of our chatter.
Object of boredom.
Yes.
I guess it washed up on shore. And
yeah.
They're saying the more they look at it, they're not as excited.
Oh, come on.
Because I guess there's rivets, but then there's rivets with plexiglass or something, and they're like, well, that's not...
that's not how they build a plane.
That's not how they build a plane for the most part, but you never know, because maybe it's attached to something.
So many false alarms.
So they're excited, but they're not as excited as they continue to look at this significant piece of debris that washed up on shore.
Debris.
Wow, man. That is just crazy. Like we said yesterday, the one thing we're learning is that the ocean is really polluted.
A lot of fucking
shit. It has a lot of shit in it.
A lot of shit in the ocean just floating around.
This swatting thing is crazy. This is a new trend.
It's been going on a while, I guess.
It has, right?
Using SWAT teams as a prank?
Yeah, you call in a situation and to the point where the SWAT team shows up.
I think the SWAT team was in on the prank.
Hell no.
Okay. That I feel better about that.
No, somebody was playing Call of Duty with somebody else.
Right.
And he got the shit beat out of him. I guess there was some taunting going on.
Right.
Which happens in that game. And then the one guy didn't like the fact that he lost and was taunted, so somehow he had the other guy's address.
Right.
And called up the cops and said that there's a big gunfight going on at this address, and they sent the cops over there with weapons drawn, ready for a standoff or something, and, false alarm. Those are dangerous, man.
Yeah.
That's
you get
crazy.
One wrong move and fucking someone's blasting.
Of course.
Dangerous shit.
And you're liable, too. If you call in a false report, you're liable if someone's killed on the way by the cops or the fire department.
Yeah. You're the one that gets the fucking murder rap.
Yeah.
But it's not stopping people. They've been doing this for a while, like
That's
you said.
ridiculous.
They usually do it with celebrities.
Yeah. Somebody did it with...
who was the big
Corey
celeb?
Feldman, I think.
Corey had...
I think Corey had...
probably called it in.
Corey called in his own. That was the rumor, that Corey had called in his own.
Oh, really?
Yes, Corey.
He's... I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
Right?
There was a problem. Like, I guess the cops were outside this kid's door. Cops tried for 20 minutes to call Raphael to get him to come out, but he had headphones on and was still glued to his video game console. He didn't realize anything was going on. He couldn't hear anything, his brother said. I told him there's a bunch of cops outside that are looking for you.
Graphics are great.
Can you imagine if you got Call of Duty just cranking through the house, though, as the SWAT team shows
man.
up? Holy shit.
Right?
Or can you imagine you playing Call of Duty and then real cops burst in? You're like, this fucking game rules.
It's a 3D effect.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yes, Kenny.
Well, you know how it went down.
How did it go down?
The cops knocked on the door, and the people said, "Who's there?" And the cops said, "It's the police."
Right.
And they said in the house, "How many are there?" They said, "There's
are there?
2 of
How many
us."
are there?
So
Are
they said,
there?
"Talk to each other."
Much better.
I got you both times.
I got you.
What do you mean you got?
Didn't he say I got you both times?
Yeah. Well, I like over. Wait, how do you say it? Over there?
Over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
So, anything else on that story? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's.
Where did it happen?
Originally, they were
Beach,
arguing.
Long Island.
Because they were.
Where?
Long Beach, New York.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had an argument. It was an in-game argument about what night they were going to see me at Caroline's. The one, I'm not plugging. It's not about a plug. But he said Thursday, and the other guy said Saturday. So.
Yeah.
Friday sold out, huh?
That's just when they wanted to come.
Jimmy sold out Friday.
Right. A lot of racism going on in Call of Duty, though, over the microphones. A lot of black guys like playing Call of Duty Ghosts. I've noticed a lot of them. You know, you fucking log into a game, and you just hear like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Let's do this different today.
Yeah.
What do they call the white guys?
I don't know. No one really calls them anything. Peckerwood.
Well, if there's a lot of racism and there's a lot of black guys, I understand the one angle, but I'm wondering how they, come back from that.
Well, it's just white motherfucker.
Stuff like that. That's what I mean.
Oh, redneck, hillbilly, sister fucker. That's what I mean. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, they go with the hillbilly thing, calling white guys hillbillies and shit like that. And then, of course, lots of N-bombs being dropped in that game. That's part of your loadout. You could go with a fucking automatic rifle and some N-bombs.
Sal found a video. Go back. It's called. I don't know if it's gonna work. I understand.
I don't even know if it's real, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's called "Hilarious Black Guys on Call of Duty."
Yeah.
Oh, I hope it's real. All right.
Bro, you heard what I said though? He want to turn up at McDonald's, bro. An hour after the party over, he want to turn up at McDonald's. Fuck out of here. We was like, nigga, you ain't dance on one female. Your ass one drinking shit, smoking shit, and now you want to turn up when we in McDonald's because you see a double cheeseburger? Fuck out of here.
Nigga want to dance on a McDouble.
Yo, wait, whoa. What the hell did you even say?
Man, what are you doing? You said what, bro?
What did you even say? You said that way too fast.
Get the fucking tags, man.
You said what?
You guys are talking way too fast. I cannot understand you.
So I went to a party, right?
Yeah.
I went there with my friend. Alright? So he ain't want to dance or nothing, drink, smoke, nothing. He just sat there the whole party. So we go to McDonald's. He want to start dancing and shit. He's like, what you dancing for, bro? It's because he ordered a McDouble. Like, nigga, we was just at a party. You ain't want to dance at all. Now
Is
we
he
at
fat?
McDonald's. You want to dance.
Is he fat? Is he fat?
Is he fat? Nah, he ain't fat. He just, I don't know, he weird. Like,
weird.
That's all right. It's all right.
But that's usually the discussions you'll get. It's just as inane as that. I've really just backed off on even putting on the headphones or using the microphone.
Really?
It's useless.
Are people ever rude to each other?
Constantly. Oh, constantly.
But what about the bullying campaigns?
That ain't working on Call of Duty, I'll tell you that
They're
much.
not working?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Do they say racist things?
A lot of racist stuff. A lot of racist stuff going on. Call of Duty.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up your dream girl, and we've been on the radio an hour.
Oh, no.
You know this story? This woman was made for you.
What is this?
Teen. Everything sounds better when you have teen in it. Remember, guys, from the old days.
Said that, sure.
Haven't brought that back in a while. But
yeah.
You add teen onto anything, and it's way better. Cops. Teen had loaded revolver in her vagina.
Whoa!
And she's quite the looker.
Well, how did that happen?
So I'm thinking this might be your dream girl.
That's nice.
A 19-year-old Tennessee woman. She's a hot little blonde.
Tennessee, look at her. She's white trash all over.
Had a loaded handgun hidden in her vagina when she was brought into jail yesterday afternoon following a collar for driving with a suspended license.
Little Derringer-looking revolver.
How big is that thing?
That's pretty small.
But, like, what is it?
Yeah, it's It's no bigger or wider than a
vagina.
A cock. So, you could easily get. See, look at the hand.
Right.
A chick could.
It's tiny.
Easily get that up her twat.
Women laugh at that. That's easy, right?
That's nothing.
That's nothing to them.
Yeah.
As Dallas Archer was being booked into the Kingsport jail, a female corrections officer alerted to an unknown object in the teenager's crotch during a search.
Oh, boy.
The jailer and a female cop then accompanied Archer to a bathroom for further examination.
Bend over and grab your ankles.
That's right. A review that led to the recovery of a North American Arms 22 LR revolver. Loaded. She was loaded.
22.
Which Miss Dallas had concealed in her vagina.
Wait, who's that? Oh, man, that's sexy.
According to Kingsport Police Department report. A subsequent check revealed that the 5-shot mini revolver, which is 4 inches in length, had been stolen from an auto burglary in 2013. The handgun, which police valued at blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Stolen gun in her vagina.
Ooh, that's one stinky holster. That's nice. I do like that.
Well, what do we got here? Well, what do we got here?
Wow. She's fucking squirreling it up there.
Yeah.
Let me go get my gloves.
I'd have more respect for it if it was a desert eagle.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're going to have to bend over a little more.
Yeah, well.
We're going to have to investigate
see
this.
something up there.
Well,
let me check that out.
What is this?
I best taste it first before we do any further investigating. I should taste that.
Of course, we want to be safe. Make sure there's no explosives up
well,
there.
indeed.
We're going to have a taste test. Oh, boy, are we.
Careful. I have to reach in and set the safety before we try to remove it.
We better check the asshole just to make sure.
Yes.
There's no ammo up there for your gun that's hidden in your vagina.
Some other weaponry.
That's how I imagine it goes down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's just some fucking mess of a woman. All right, bend over.
Yeah.
Fucking
gloves.
Hey, we got something here. We got something up her snatch.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't move. Pin her down and fucking pull that shit out.
All right, we need you to lay on your back, okay? We're going to spread your legs a little bit.
Oh, man. Oh. Wow, I do like that.
Hey, pass the lube. We don't want to hurt her as we remove this.
A loaded
foreign object.
Loaded pistola. Right.
Is that her mugshot?
Badge.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
She's a hot mess, as they like to say.
She's a goddamn...
she's a hot mess.
That is the epitome of the white trash girl.
Right.
The fucking bleach blonde hair. She just looks like she cut out of school a lot. She got her eye makeup on, all fucked up.
Would you?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Let's say hi to Mark in Boston.
Dallas Archer. That's a cool name, too.
What's up, boys?
Hey, buddy. I wish New York was as strong as you guys. I got to be honest with you. You guys know how to handle a situation up there. What do you got?
Give it 6 months, something will happen in Dallas, and then we'll all wish we were as strong as those guys down there.
Holla.
This swatting thing's been going on for about 2 years, and I know Ant's not a huge fan of Twitchy because they gave him some shit about Michaela Maroney. However, they've been on the forefront of this because Malkin was swatted. Eric Erickson, who's on CNN, basically it's anyone who's a leftist activist that doesn't like a talking head that's a right-winger that they know owns guns. They'll just say, hey, I shot my wife. You guys better come take a look at this, and then hang up. The cops have to go, and if they know that there's gun owners or whatever there, they have to show up with guns drawn, and they're hoping that some right-wing, pundit's going to wind up getting shot over this.
Yeah.
You do a Google search for Brett Kimberlin.
That's fucked up.
Right.
He's the guy that originated this, and it's really fucked up because that guy was a terrorist that did bombings in the 70s, and he's one of those Occupy types.
So he's calling in fake threats to the cops to get gun owners shot?
Are these guys getting
arrested? Well, yeah, but Jimmy, it's not gun owners. It's like Ann Coulter types. Like, I don't like you, Ann Coulter, because you're a right-wing shill. So I'm going to say, hey, Ann Coulter has guns. I'm going to call in a fake hoax, and hopefully the SWAT team will wind up shooting her.
What a scumbag.
Yeah, that's...
Who's this scumbag?
And Brett Kimberlin is one person that has been associated with it.
Oh.
But it's happened to celebrities, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think Chris Brown's house was swatted. He wasn't even home. I mean, he's a scumbag. Fuck him. But
I mean, I don't want to see the kid shot over some asshole calling it a fake, murder investigation or something.
So the people calling in these fake threats or whatever, are they getting arrested at least?
Well, that's the thing, Opie, is whoever's doing this or whoever are doing this are smart enough to use like computerized phone lines that are getting bounced from here.
Yeah, it's very hard to trace.
So
right.
You can't trace it.
Wow.
That's so dangerous.
How do you trace those numbers?
I don't think you can. You could just
you guys are having
buy one. Oh, well, whatever.
Later on?
Say that again?
Are you guys having Russell Simmons in later on?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you ask him a question?
Sure.
For me? This is a legitimate question. I don't think anyone's ever asked him.
Okay.
He's like a bazillionaire, and he was in favor of Occupy Wall Street. How can a guy who owns a credit card company and is essentially a banker go out and protest against scumbag bankers when he's a bazillionaire himself?
Russell's a weird guy. I don't think he was necessarily...
We should ask him that.
That's a good question. But I don't think he was like, even thinking it through. It was more like, hey, these guys are... Hey, they're fighting power. Good.
Yeah, but Jimmy, he showed up down there and he was protesting and holding signs with people.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong then. Okay.
There's a lot of liberal people that don't do the old practice what they preach,
Sure.
So they're like, the social causes, man, we're going to do this. And then, like Michael Moore, they have giant houses far away from the places that they supposedly champion.
Exactly. No one's actually asked him that I found in the media that can say, all right, hey, you stand for X, but you're actually doing Y.
Yeah.
How can you justify that?
Well, Mark, you're going to be around later? You should ask the question.
I'll be at work listening to you guys at my desk like I do every day.
I appreciate that.
Sounds like a treat.
Take it easy.
All right, we'll try to ask him that. Thank you.
Later.
It's a book on meditation, and I actually really want to do this because I'm so sick of not sleeping. I'm hoping meditation helps.
You think meditation?
I don't know, man. I got to try something.
Try the other thing that kind of sounds like that a lot. See, masturbation.
Oh, okay.
That does help, though.
Very well. Well,
it
not
keeps
for
me
Jimmy.
awake. No, because I have to keep jumping up and pissing. My stupid prostate starts doing the fucking I couldn't think of a dance.
Watusi?
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to pick a new dance. The rumba, but it's not a dance.
Meditation made simple. I meditate a little bit. I'll try to read this.
What is that about?
Power of the present.
You meditate. It's too quiet.
I know. I like a little...
Oh,
the power of the present.
I meditate while watching television.
Can't do that.
Sit there, quiet, and just watch TV.
You would be freaked out if you were.
I just don't
silent.
like the quiet.
That's what I'm saying. Because
hear my own tinnitus. It's wonderful.
Let's see.
It occurred to me the other day when I was talking about my stupid job, fucking in air conditioning and heating.
Right.
That I bet part of my tinnitus problem isn't so much the band as it is sitting there bashing sheet metal with a hammer. It's so loud.
Thunderstorms all day long.
That's what it is.
I know.
There's something called a Pittsburgh seam on a duct where it's like most of the time you just put like tab A and slot B and fucking bang it together, and it's like very easy. But this Pittsburgh one is for very heavy gauge ductwork for big pieces, and you got to use this pneumatic hammer. It fits into a compressor, bang, 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 and you lay it on the sheet metal, and you're supposed to bend over this little 1/8-inch flange over the top of the other piece that you slid in to fasten it. Jesus. And it's on this giant piece of sheet metal, and it's going, bah! It's so fucking loud.
Did you like using it?
I hated that fucking thing more than anything.
And why don't you wear earplugs?
You can't.
Because
you constantly be taking them out of your ears to hear what someone's saying. The safety equipment is,
And I bet your fellow workers would say stuff like, don't be a faggot.
Exactly. Yes.
If you did
don't
wear the
be a faggot.
Earplugs.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that's where you got it.
It's hammering.
Do you know what that sounds like in the shop?
Yes.
When you're trying to make it?
Every girl I've dated.
Yes.
Why do they call it the Pittsburgh lock?
I would guess that some gentleman
in
the great city of Pittsburgh
Willie
said, I'm going to do it this way.
Ah.
No, he's probably just said, hey, you need a flange over there.
Over there. We got to put this together.
Over there.
Chicago. That's
was
the
more
Chicago joint. Yeah, it was just the loud. And then when you want to cut a hole in a duct, let's say you want to cut a fucking hole in there for an outlet. You take a screwdriver, you put it against the fucking duct, and you hit that with a hammer to rip a tear in the sheet metal so you get your snips in there. So that's more.
Did you get cut a lot?
A lot.
You did?
Oh, I got cuts all over. I got scars all over my hands.
Right.
Yeah.
The sheet metal?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have hated that.
Like you grab it and you feel, and then you go like, oh, you close your hand real tight, and you go, and then you look and go, yeah, that's stitches.
How many times did you get stitches?
Probably 3.
Bitches get stitches.
You got stitches in your fucking hands.
Yeah. Probably 3 times from work, but so many more. You'd cut yourself. You only got stitches if you really needed it, because usually you'd cut yourself, take some duct tape, just wrap it, take a napkin, slap it over the fucking wound, duct tape it up, and get the fuck back to work.
Because it was a clean slice.
Yeah.
Those you could push back together pretty easily.
Another real bad one was these hanging ceilings like this.
Right.
Usually when we came in, these weren't in yet, the hanging ceiling, because the ductwork has to go above it.
Right.
So sometimes, though, they would prep the ceiling. Every corner you see, pretty much, there's a wire that comes down.
They look beautiful.
And they hang this ceiling from these wires.
Right.
But before they hang it, the wires are a lot longer, and then they clip them to size after they fasten it. So they're hanging down. These very sharp wires are hanging down. And I was climbing up a ladder once, and one got me right in the shoulder and just stuck right in me, in my shoulder. Thwack! I'm like, oh! Pulled down, and there it was. A big hole in my shoulder.
Are you bleeding?
Oh, yes. I went home that day, angry. Then there's another one where you have your 25-foot extension ladder, and you got to lean it against a ceiling joist in like a factory, and it's just about hitting the joist, like 25 feet up.
Oh my God.
And you got to climb it, and it's shaking, and then you're leaning off of it a little bit over to one side, going, I'm gonna die.
Were you ever nervous?
I was sometimes shaking, because then you put a drill screw in your little drill bit thing,
right?
And now you got to put pressure on it as you're trying to drill screw into the ceiling decking. So you're pushing down on a ladder you're leaning off of, and sometimes the drill screw would go like snap out of the bit, and you would like it would jostle you.
Did
one
you
way
ever
or
fall?
another. No, but I came close. One time the ladder actually slipped down a little bit. Went chunk.
How high up were you?
Down about 20 feet.
Were you scared?
Petrified. Petrified. Oh, it was so scary.
Isn't there a way to stop that from? I would hate to climb a ladder.
Well, you're supposed to fasten it. There's a lot of safety things you're supposed to do, but it just takes too much time. It's bad, but no one does them.
Fasten it with what, from the top to the joist?
Yeah, you're supposed to tie it off to the joist. When you're trying to get on a rooftop, you extend the ladder a good at least 2 feet above the top of the roof, so you have a handle when you step onto the roof. But a lot of times you don't have that, so you're barely on there on the roof, and then you're supposed to tie it off on something up on the roof so the ladder doesn't fall over.
Right.
You don't do that.
What do you do when you're getting down and there's just a little? I had that when I was a kid trying to climb out of something, and there was a little teeny lip, so you got to kind of like hang on to something and put your feet over the edge.
It's so scary. It's so fucking scary.
I would just yell help.
I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Why did you get into ductwork?
So it was the only unskilled labor I could get.
Oh, my God.
I went from being a guy that installed above the ground pools to the tin knocker sheet metal guy.
Why'd you give up the pool business?
It was very seasonal.
Oh,
yeah.
And there was no pay at all. Oh, it was terrible. Whew. Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, if you're going to do above ground pool or any pools, you don't want to do it here.
No, it's
should have moved to Florida.
It sucked
for
too.
more work.
That job sucked.
Well, most jobs suck.
Yes.
That one sounds awful though.
It was. You were in constant fear for your life.
Isn't above ground pools easier though? Just dig a big fucking area out. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Put some hose.
I would think. Oh, when they used to get these giant trucks, these boom trucks with the big boom and the cable to lift these giant air conditioning units that are like the size of freight trains onto the roofs of these factories and stuff. And you'd be standing there underneath the unit. Like, all right, prep the unit. You'd have to take off
You heard that before, didn't you?
Prep the unit. Yeah, except unit was something else. Bull.
Yeah.
I know. Yes. But you'd have to take these temporary, like, covers off of the intake and exhaust of these units, and so they're dangling like that. That's exactly one. They dangle these fucking units, and you'd have to be underneath this. It's just precariously perched above you on a cable. You're just trusting everyone did the right job, and that's your life.
You think anyone ever got hurt doing that?
Oh, I bet a lot of people got hurt.
That's crazy.
It was terrible.
Could you ride up on the top of that? I'm sure it would hold.
Yeah, there were people that would do that right up on the unit. Oh my God!
Wow,
it's bringing back great memories.
Everybody wants to say hi. D in Minnesota. D.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, D.
I'm so nervous right now, so forgive me.
That's all right.
What's up, D?
Okay.
My name is Dean from Brainerd, actually.
Oh, Brainerd,
Minnesota. Yeah, come on up. I got
around
a
Brainerd.
you can stay in.
Babe, the Blue Ox.
Yep, Paul Bunyan. It's funny you're just talking about setting rooftops. That's what I'm setting today.
Oh.
You know, and actually, when I listened to you on Mass, I actually wept when you were talking about how you threw your sheet metal tools out on the road.
Right out there right out on 95 as I drove up.
Did you?
Yep.
You threw all your stuff on the
right out the fucking window. I was like, could always buy new ones.
$40, and a pair of crimpers are $45. You know, these days.
Crimpers.
Some of us can't. Crimpers.
I know. I would usually just, I would try to just trim down my equipment so I didn't have to carry so much. So I would just use needle nose pliers to crimp clinch collars with.
What's crimping that mean?
Yeah, so you could slide a piece of pipe into another piece of pipe of the same diameter. You'd have to crimp the other one.
What's that mean? Open the hole?
It means like kind of close it down a little bit. You'd have to put little creases all around the diameter so you could slide it in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like docking.
It's like it's like putting a foreskin on the fucking thing.
It's like putting your dick into another man's foreskin.
Comment, Sal. Comment.
All right, D, you survived. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go to Kyle in Boston.
Hey, what's going on, boys? Hey, you ever work in a scissor lift?
Oh, fuck yeah. Those are scary shit, too, especially with ductwork, because you got to do a lot of maneuvering and stuff. And when you're trying to put a slip and drive connection together, and you got to angle it a little, so you're kind of leaning over the edge of the scissor lift, and it's like going back and forth. And you've seen him in the lobby.
Right now,
right.
So you're up there about 20 feet, and the fucking thing's going back and forth. Yeah, those get a little creepy, too. Scaffolding, I wasn't a big fan of either.
The Time Warner building, when you walk in there, they have some great restaurants, but there's like an overhang, and in the very entrance, it goes all the way up to so it's probably 50 feet, I would say.
Oh, even higher.
In that lobby, 70 feet.
At least.
And they have these giant banners that hang down, and they use those scissor lifts to get up and hang the Christmas banners or whatever. They look fucking horrifying.
It's when they're up really high. And then sometimes you'd want to go down to the next piece of duct, because the ducts are usually 8 feet long. So you'd have to go to the next one, and you didn't want to waste the time of lowering the scissor lift all the way down, driving it 8 feet and lifting it back up. So you would actually drive, which you're never supposed to do, drive it as it's elevated up 20 feet, like really slow, just try to edge it along.
That's crazy.
That was really
it's very top heavy at that point.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, I tipped one of those over one time at a job site. I was rocking it, trying to get a move, and then I had an apprentice up there with me that was petrified, so I started fucking with him, rocking back and forth real hard.
Yeah.
And I got it bouncing wheel to wheel, and then we went too far one way. Luckily, there was an I-beam that caught us at like a 45-degree angle.
Oh.
I almost killed the fucking kid.
No horseplay. No horseplay. It's amazing how those things can be stopped by one drill screw on a floor, though.
Really?
Yeah, you drive it, and all of a sudden, boom, it just stops dead. Like, what the fuck is in my way? A drill screw.
I was on a scissor lift about 800 feet in the air one time.
It's impossible, Chip. No, you weren't. Oh, shit, are those dead guys? Whoa.
How high was that?
Not
Fort
very
Lauderdale
high.
scissor lift accident. The platform toppled.
Jesus.
Is that the top part, the platform?
It looks like the whole thing tipped over. Wow, that's fucked up.
platform would be on the bottom, right?
Whoops.
I don't know. What's it called, the thing you stand on?
Let's say hi to Steve in Central Jersey. Steve.
Yes.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just setting on my 40-foot ladder now, and usually you never even think about these things.
Yeah.
And after listening to you this morning, like, I know it's going to be windy as shit today.
Oh, tie it off.
The ladder's up against the gutter, moving around a little bit. So I'm thinking, you've been there 20 years now, right? Isn't that like a cop? 20 years, you could just retire?
Yeah, I know, right? I should
Trading
retire.
What are you supposed to...
Step right in. I'm a funny fuck.
Oh, so you could take over the gig.
Yeah.
Another tin knocker.
Hey, what are you supposed to tie that to at that height on the roof? What will you tie it to?
I tie off the trees. You know, usually it's a tree because that's the only thing close enough.
On a roof, you could use a vent pipe sometimes, or you could if it's really got stout gutters, you could like vice grip it to a gutter. But
vice grip your ladder?
Yeah, you just fucking and then click,
Whatever
clamp it on.
Whatever you can do.
Yeah,
Hey,
whatever
Jimmy,
you can do.
The Brunswicks love you, Jimmy. The Brunswicks love you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Adam in Jersey. Adam.
Yeah, hey, Ed, have you ever used a Weezer foggle?
What the hell's a Weezer foggle?
I think he's being facetious.
I did.
It scared me.
I think he's being facetious.
Let's go to Shane in Charlotte. Shane.
Hey, I'm a workers' comp insurance adjuster, and hearing the way you've been talking about skipping some of these safety things make me cringe. I get pictures all day long of blood-stained and impaled people from doing the same things you're talking about. It's nasty business.
It's true. We used to, when me and my brother worked in the shop over at True Mechanical, we'd go out for lunch and just go to the bar next door. We'd bet the horses from an OTB that was right next to the bar, and then we'd sit there and drink and then go back into a shop full of machines custom built to chop your limbs off. There's something called a pneumatic brake, and this thing would bend 90-degree angle bends in sheet metal. So you'd make a square duct with it, you know. You'd mark off where you want it to bend, and you put it in there, and then you hit the foot pedal, and this big blade comes down and just goes duck-unk and bends it. And then you got to fucking jockey it around. But that is just custom made to fucking chop your fingers off, especially drunk. We'd have a good buzz. The whole shop would go and drink.
You think anyone ever got hurt using that?
I bet a lot of people have fucked them. There it is.
Wow.
Oh, my God. You could work in my job for one day. You'd be amazed at the way these people can hurt themselves. It's almost impossible to dream of what these people do.
Amazing.
To tear their bodies apart.
I've watched so many factory videos on like, you know, these sites of people who like hands caught in this and machinery where their hand looks like just a piece of meatloaf.
That's called degloving. That's one of the worst things.
Degloving.
Wow.
What's degloving?
When the skin pulls off of your hand all the way like you're taking a glove off.
And you're just left with a skeleton hand?
Mostly tendons and muscle. And
oh, my God.
Well, we're looking at one now, a degloving injury. Well, they got their
it's
arm.
like pulled.
What the hell?
The skin is pulled off of the... I don't know what that is.
Normally, the kind of machine that'll do that, there's no way to get that skin back to on your hand because it grinds it and crushes it up so much. So you basically have to get skin grafts from your legs, and it takes years.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Myofacial degloving. Come on, I want to see that. It's a great name.
Yeah.
All right.
I like a de-socking.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. The guy's...
Jesus.
The skin just came right off of his fingers.
A
He's got,
myofacial degloving.
Skeleton hand. You think you'd have the frame of mind to, right when that happens, to just go to your coworker and go, boo! Like, boo! Scary. A little joke, a little levity.
Probably not, no.
No, I don't think so
You'd probably
either.
be like, you'd say what I say when I went to pray for me.
Oh, did you say that?
When I had a head injury from a baseball hitting me.
What?
My head split open,
no.
and they called the ambulance because I was bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
And I was a little woozy, so as they were carrying me out on the stretcher, I think I said to my parents, pray for me.
Ew.
Who says that?
I did.
Little Jimmy.
Yes, I did.
How old were you?
13, 14.
Pray for me.
Yeah, not a good...
did your dad just look up in the air and go, oh, fuck?
Yeah, he's probably like, look, I know your lifestyle.
My daughter.
Oh, guys, it's y'all about 4 months ago from Howard, and I'm glad I did. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. Let's say hi. Oh, man. Yeah. This guy's been in the trade for 30 years. Freddie in Orlando, Florida.
Freddie.
Hey, what's up, boys? Listen, I'm retired now, but I was in the AC trade. I used to run the line sets, purge the lines. I work in the attics. And those lines...
All right, feed it through. Feed it. Hold it. Hold up. All right, bring it through.
Yeah.
Yelling.
Those fucking line sets in the residential, when they had that John's Manville, that Pink Panther fucking fiberglass insulation.
Yes.
You remember that? First week on the job, I didn't know to wear long sleeves.
That shit makes you itch.
And the worst thing, this is weird.
Put mustard on it, eat that shit.
I got a problem with public restrooms. I don't know what you all did, but back in the day, we didn't have porta potties. We had to carry around 5-gallon paint buckets to take a dump.
I've talked about the spackle bucket dumps that everybody had to take. Yeah, no bathrooms. But yeah, that insulation was so bad, and sometimes you'd show up to a job and it was the summer. You'd be wearing short sleeves and realize, oh fuck, I got an attic job today, and it would hurt. You'd feel like you had little pins in you for days. You'd feel it, and it was fiberglass just shoved into your pores.
From reaching your arms through it?
Yeah, you'd have to, because there's no safe... You can't just delicately put the ductwork. You're ripping fucking insulation. The dust is like filling the attic.
Wow.
In the air. I would wear a mask, a respirator mask, but you'd get it all down your back.
Was it hot in that mask?
Was it fucking... sometimes it would get so wet you couldn't even breathe through it. It was just soaked in sweat. Terrible.
I have a story too. While you were doing that, I was trying to figure out the proper way to seg a Jethro Tull song into a Yes song, and I just couldn't get it quite right for so long.
Oh boy!
I have your answer, by the way. How you do that?
Oh,
that was Jethro Tull. Do you like them? Yes.
Oh, you want to try it?
Let's try it.
Oh, I just
How
heard.
do we do this?
I just heard a moan of pleasure from down the hall. Who could that have been? I think Denny would have liked that one.
Let's say hi to Jeff in New Hampshire. Jeff.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Jeffy.
Yeah, I do heating and air conditioning, and one of my accounts is called Road to Responsibility, and they have mentally handicapped adults that they have housing for them, and they bring them into these places and they have them work.
Yeah.
So they have like 30 of these people in like a little warehouse, and they do packaging and like menial jobs.
Oh, of course.
So I was working in there with a 10-foot step ladder, and I had to run out to my truck. And while I was gone, one of the guys climbed the ladder and sat at the top and started to cry because he couldn't come down. And the fire department had to come.
Come on. From a 10-foot ladder?
10-foot step ladder. He climbed all the way up and just sat on the top.
Oh,
and
jeez.
they were like, come on, come down, you got to come down. And he started to cry, and he wouldn't come down. He was afraid. He was, like, turning around. And I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah, right.
It ended up being like an hour. The fire department had to come in with 2 other ladders, set them up on either side, and go up and carry the guy down.
A 322, a dummy on a ladder.
Get the fuck down off my step ladder.
My step ladder. Very good.
All right, guys,
Thank you. Let's go to Joe in Long Beach.
Hey, what's up, Anthony? I just wanted to know if you remember getting stuck in the hand by installing duct pins on the ductwork to lay insulation.
Oh, yeah, those pins. On that little pin machine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to put the insulation on top of it, and you get stabbed in the hand.
Yeah, sometimes the insulation would go like inside the duct, so there'd be this glue that you'd have to put. That was another thing, the fucking glue. This stuff smelt like you knew it was toxic in any fucking form. And you're there spraying this blue fucking goopy glue on so the insulation could stick on the inside of the duct, and then it would go in this machine that put these pins in to fasten it on, and you're just breathing it in and getting dizzy. Oh, how do people do this job for any length of time without just dying or being retarded.
How long did you do this?
Probably from, let me think, 86?
80?
From 86 to 94.
Nice.
There you go. That was about it.
Did you ever get glue on yourself?
All the time. And when it got into the crease in my elbow, like up there, and it would go.
You didn't like that?
When you moved, it was terrible. You'd have to go in and use like the goop stuff in with the pumice in it to clean up at the end of the day.
Now I understand why you didn't want me to blow it up.
Oh, when that fucking
I kind of understand a little more.
Dead Mayor April Fool's thing happened, I was having all of these flashbacks. Like, I'm just gonna be back in the glue fucking thing and back in the attic and insulation.
You must have thought like radio guys were just sissy boys.
Oh, a bunch of fairy Marys.
Did you ever feel like, I don't know, like, Jesus Christ, we're not even working?
Yeah, I still do. I do. The hardest part of this job is getting up in the morning.
Right.
That's it. Oh, man. I pictured me back with the Pittsburgh joint. You
and Willie. Willie Stargell.
Didn't you used to do what?
I'll try it again, yes.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
This guy, I don't know, he's got fingers or used to or something. Al in Buffalo. Al.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I used to work in the sheet metal shop where we make conveyors. And this one kid, first day on the job, we used one of them presses that would cycle. It wasn't pneumatic. And you had to run the whole cycle. You couldn't back it off. And he's pressing bearings into the end of these tubes that we use for the conveyors. Put his fingers right in front of it, cut his fingers right off, not a drop of blood. I had to go cut that stupid tube in half and get his fingers out so they could take him to the hospital.
How many fingers did he lose?
He lost 2 fingers.
Did they put him back on?
Yeah, they got him back on because it was such. It pinched when the bearing went into the tube. It pinched it so tight, cut him right off, not a drop of blood come out.
Wow, really clean cut.
Amazing. So it was probably easier to reattach.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but the worst part was cutting that goddamn tube open and just, shaking it down and getting the fingers out.
And getting the fingers out.
That happened to me once when I was in jail. My friend wanted to paint, and the warden took his paints, so he chopped his fingers off, and I had to plink them into a little wooden carrying case.
Where did you get the hatchet from?
Mr. Zimmerman loaned them to him, and he was going to build something.
Oh. What'd you say when you gave the guy, showed the guy the fingers?
Well, I plinked them quietly in, and I handed it to the guard and said, "Here, put this in your report sheet."
All right.
That's fucking great.
There's so many more calls.
A lot of safety equipment, too, on these machines was inconvenient. So things that would were meant to shut the machine off if your hand got in there were usually overridden, so you could just like
do your job
without
faster, quicker,
safety
whatever.
being on there. Yeah.
Well, we'll take more calls
Terrible.
down the road, but got a nice little treat for everybody after the break.
Oh, is that what he was working on? Is it in?
Little surprise Jocktober today.
Oh, this is fantastic.
A little surprise Jocktober.
Oh, yeah.
Little show's going to teach us what funny is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do that after these messages.
Not is to listen to it and they go, now would that be funny if a comic had said it on a stage? Would the audience be laughing? And that isn't the context.
How about we acknowledge it's just a stupid concept they're coming up with?
Yeah.
Like if E-Rock walks in, like I said yesterday, one of you guys says something fat, and we go, oh, E-Rock, or whatever the dumb joke is. That's a running inside joke that wouldn't be funny on stage.
So in that regard, they might be right. But, I mean, we absolutely have been funny on a stage, but it's not our thing like Jim Norton's.
No. I mean, they're wrong. Like, it's funny in this context in the radio, but it wouldn't work on a comedy stage, but it works here.
Steve the Whistler on a stage, what we did to that guy.
That'd be a home run, actually.
That would be a tremendous standing ovation.
Yeah.
So we thought it would only be fair to take a listen to this Humble and Fred radio show today.
Hope you guys brought your notepads.
So we can learn what funny is.
Right.
Okay, Anthony?
I'm waiting.
What?
I said I hope you guys brought your notepads.
And this is just one show, right?
Yeah, this is just 1 hour of one show.
This is 1 hour of one show, because some people like to think that we listen for weeks just to, find where they fuck up.
No, this is 1 hour of one show.
1 hour of one show. That's very important here, okay? So this is a good indication of what they do on the radio. The good, the bad, the ugly, period. So today, a little surprise Jocktober with Humble and Fred to see if they are indeed funny, and we're not. We'll see right now.
Maybe you can learn a thing or two. That's something that you should be getting out of Jocktober, is that maybe you can learn how to do radio the way you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
We'll have an open mind. We'll see what happens here. Humble and Fred start with some humor based on returning from vacation.
All right.
And it's interesting. I don't know what you find sort of weird, like, you know, it takes a few seconds to remember where things are and what buttons to hit and, you know, get back in the groove. But I think after 25 years of doing this, it'll all just, the repartee, the rapport, the snippy snappy, it's all going to come back.
No, I know what you're saying, and, you know, we're just...
Snippy snappy?
See, that wouldn't work on a stage.
If you said snippy snappy, it wouldn't.
But that long repertoire, whatever, that would not work on a stage. If you're going to say that, you have to practice that in your show.
He's just setting it up. I'm sure it gets funny.
Know where Snippy Snappy works?
Hopefully on
a T-shirt.
Oh,
that one
shit.
down.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
Oh, God, if you release a T-shirt that says Snippy Snappy.
Snippy Snappy.
Oh, please do that. The Obster says, oh, please.
It's just my horrible handwriting. Good, print it.
Perfect.
Back.
No, I know what you're saying, and, you know, we're just ramping up for the summer season when we're going to be taking some mega blocks. What's that going to be like when we come back? Will we even know how to find our way to the studio?
I don't know.
Given the way our minds work at this advanced stage?
I'll just wander around looking for your car. Looking for the Fredmobile.
What if I can't even find my car?
I'll just wander around looking for the Fred Hobo with the sticks and the little sack tied to the sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know what to say.
With the sticks.
Going looking for the Fredmobile.
These guys made fun of us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys are funny.
They're funny. We're not. That's what was said.
They're looking for the Fredmobile, otherwise it'd be a hobo with the sticks and the hanky attached to the sticks.
That would be funny on a stage.
Maybe it's Canadian humor, you know? Maybe it's Canadian humor. Maybe that's funny in Canada or something. I don't know. Maybe the Canadians could call and tell us.
God, is that terrible.
How's their Facebook page today?
Let's take a look.
I hope the fans aren't being dirty again. That's rude.
We got a guy from Singapore that wants to say hi. We got to do this right now, though, Ashman. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Humble and Fred are joined by Eileen and intern Tori and do some inspired comedy material about baby clothes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
The comedic stylings of Humble and Fred.
Tori intern Tori, because she actually began this discussion because she has offered the great Eileen, Mama, baby maker, a beautiful onesie.
She's so sweet. She brought like this really fuzzy sleeper, and it's brown and cozy, and I want to wear it myself.
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you. Thank you.
God.
That's so mean.
Oh, fuck her.
What the hell? Why does that chick have a dick?
Well, here's more importantly, and this is obviously one of their fans.
Why are you asking so harshly? There's a nicer way to ask that. Now, why does that chick have a dick? Lucky her.
I see. I apologize.
On their Facebook page, there's a chick with a dick receiving penetration in her anus.
Right.
But you can tell it's one of their fans.
Why?
Because the caption says, Snippy Snappy.
Oh, Snippy Snappy.
And then it says, homo suck my cock. I don't know if that's maybe another one of their catchphrases.
Who's that below?
That's Anthony looking like Uncle Sam but holding a gun. And it says, we want you to plug your hole.
Plug your hole.
Snippy Snappy. So you don't like the hole there, Ant?
I fucking hate that.
I swear to God, that woman sounds like... We've heard that voice hundreds of times on every other radio show.
It really is. It can't be.
You're not doing anything special in radio if you follow the same fucking formula where you have the whole come in, and she's talking about baby clothes, and there's not a joke to be had in her voice.
Yapping about baby clothes.
Well, it's not fair. We may be alone, because there's a photo of Tom Skerritt on their Facebook.
Oh.
And the caption says, well, I think the boys are funny.
Oh, see? Tom Skerritt.
But then there's a picture picture of the Iron Sheik with either Humble or Fred in the camel clutch.
Right.
Oh, it must be Fred because it says "fuck Fred's ass, make him humble."
Make him
humble. Oh, there you go.
Well, let's listen where this baby clothes thing goes.
Lean Mama Baby Maker,
Yeah, Corey.
a beautiful onesie.
She's so sweet. She brought like this really fuzzy sleeper, and it's brown and cozy, and I want to wear it myself.
Yeah, it's super soft. I
Yeah.
rubbing it on my face.
Yeah.
Chicks love to buy chicks' baby stuff.
Yeah.
You notice that? Oh my god, that's so cute.
Because there's a caveat with that when they give it over. It's, I'm so glad it's not me.
No,
I'm joking. No, it's so cute. It has little bear ears on it and everything.
But when they're little tiny babies too, they grow so quickly. That thing it might wear it once or twice too.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
the tragedy.
But it's cute. Who cares?
No, I know.
So cozy. You might come home in that.
Put it on and blow a guy in a room with the overlook. Fucking creep.
Don't be funny, man. Relax with that funny
true.
shit. They're having just a normal discussion about baby clothes.
But
there wasn't a joke in there.
But they said they were joking.
They were joking.
Oh, there
yes,
you go.
they said in that clip, "Oh, I was just joking."
Would you do that on stage? Would you say you're joking?
No.
You're the
That's the litmus test, he said, though.
Was that snippy or a snippy?
That was a little more snippy.
I'm thinking it might be a little more snappy. On that one. A little more snappy.
Yeah, I didn't like the girls talking about baby clothes segment at all.
You didn't?
God, I didn't care for that.
But these guys said they're funny.
Well, I mean, their fans are funny.
Why? Why are they funny?
Well, there's a photo from the movie Valley Girl, except Jim Norton's face is photoshopped onto one of the girls, and under it says, "This is so grody."
This is so grody.
Canada's checking in.
Dennis Falcone makes an appearance.
It says Dentist Falcone.
Oh, it's Dentist Falcone, and he's a
Okay.
dentist.
Peter in Canada.
Yeah, just want to say we don't find that funny. They must be from Newfoundland or something because nobody likes those.
No, you find it funny. Come on. You're all about the snippy
I
snappy.
find their fans funny.
Be honest.
I like the description of the photos from Sam. That's pretty funny.
Why is it? Hold on. Why are their fans putting a picture of a fat naked?
That's Terry Clifford.
Terry Clifford.
Yikes.
She's one of the faces of Jocktober, Jim Norton.
Technically, it's Terry Clifford's face on the body of Fat Bastard from the film Austin Powers. And that's on their Facebook page, Humble and Fred.
Now Weeze is going to call me. Leave Terry Clifford out of this one, please. More baby humor that could easily be translated to comedy on a stage?
Yeah, meaning like this is just like more jokes about babies that if you did it on the stage...
Oh, it could be on
funnier.
stages throughout the country. It's that strong.
I feel so.
Damn.
I mean, this is the clip that humiliates you guys right now.
Humble and Fred saying, we're not funny, they are. Remember, they said that, not us. We don't even, I swear I never heard their names before in my life. Until yesterday, I guess.
Photoshop on their Facebook page of Kim Kardashian making love to Beavis.
Beavis is mounting her.
He's got Ray J's body.
Yeah.
He was wearing that onesie, which is just a tiny thing, not so long ago. And now what's he up to? Like big boy pants and...
Yeah. He walked in the house the other day. He was wearing these khakis and a blue jean shirt. He looked so cute, but oh man, he wasn't in a very good mood. He's teething. He's getting some molars in.
Yeah.
So he'll go from happy, wonderful, sweet little baby John 1 second to just like beside himself the next moment. And you can see him pushing at his cheeks, and it happens quickly, thank goodness, but it's horrible for them.
Is your daughter giving him, what is that, the Oragel?
Andesol, I think.
Heroin also worked on me. My parents used to rub a little heroin on my gums.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Why does he want to kiss a guy?
No, the sky.
He said, excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Oh, I thought he said the sky.
He said guy.
Did he say guy in that clip?
Yes, he did.
He must want to kiss a guy then.
All right.
He just want to interrupt the show.
Well, they said...
was that?
But they said they're funny.
There's a photo on their Facebook page of a large woman.
Yeah.
And then Terry Clifford. And then E-Rock. And they're all fat and they're all nude. And they're all sitting together. And it looks to be... Is that a dildo? Look, maybe a dildo party?
It looks like it's a dildo water bottle party. Let's go to Brooklyn and say hi to Mikey. Mikey, what's up?
Sup, Opie?
Hey,
Sup,
Mike.
Anthony? Sup, Jim?
Hi.
I was listening to this. I was really wondering what a hole was, but after listening to that fucking woman go on about baby clothes, I think that pretty much fucking answered my question.
Yeah, she is the definition of the whole, but we've heard this exact voice and delivery so many times over the years. It's a woman that they force on radio shows to have the female perspective, and what they end up doing is just getting in the way of everything. Yeah. I mean, everything.
Look at what they turned that conversation into.
Huh?
That's to attract female listeners?
I think it's an insult to women that PDs assume that a woman like that is going to bring in females to listen to a particular radio show.
That's representative
it's
of the
horrible.
chicks.
And if the guys
more painful, that or that whistling.
And if the guys get too edgy, she will always. The whole will always step in and go now,
That's their job.
and try to calm them down a little bit. It's the worst thing to happen to radio, and it could be the #1 worst thing in radio.
Well, you don't like the ladies' point of view?
But I've heard women that do a good job on the radio.
Funny.
I don't know about that.
There's not a lot, I'll be honest with you, but there are a few that certainly pull it off. There's a woman that works with Brother Weeze. She does a very good job. Weeze has always found different type of women to do the radio show with up there. I would never say that Weeze has a hole on his show. You got Nicole from the Morning Mashup. She knows how to be a female on the radio without doing this shit that we're listening to today. So, and I'm trying to think of others.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, the Facebook page is dirty.
Jenny Hutt was pretty good at it.
Oh,
she was. We beat her up, or I certainly beat her up, but she was good.
Yeah, we beat her.
And she had to deal with that twat.
That's true.
Martha Stewart's daughter. She had to deal with that shit, but she did a good job on the radio as well. Why is there a man train on their Facebook page?
Well, it's Troy Kwan is the Troy Kwan, and the one who is just getting his asshole penetrated and not penetrating anybody else is E-Rock.
Oh,
who's the gayest one there? You think?
I would think
probably the E-Rock. Just
I think the one in front is the gayest one, right?
No, one of the guys in the middle, because that means that they can get fucked in the ass and keep a good enough erection to fuck someone else.
Yeah. True.
I'd say the guy in the back would be the luckiest duck.
I think the guy in the back is, the lesser of the gays.
The thing is, though, nobody's following your advice. This is why I think it's their fans, not our fans.
Right.
Because there are still a lot of Terry Clifford photos popping up.
It's certainly
Are they all making her look like a fat pig?
It's
not about her.
They're photoshopping her head under very, very fat, nude bodies.
Right.
And I feel like if it was our fans, they would have listened to you.
And why are they putting her and E-Rock in a lot of...
Well, it's the same theme. It's like E-Rock's face and her face photoshopped onto big, fat, nude bodies.
Humble and Fred, who said they're funny and we're not, just want to remind the people, although they do think Jim Norton's funny.
Thank you.
They have finally moved on from the horrendous baby talk that went absolutely nowhere.
That's a little unfair.
Why?
Because they did, maybe you haven't noticed, but it is a thing where it's like you get a baby a onesie and it's like 2 weeks later, they don't even fit this thing anymore.
You got to be very careful how you talk about your kids on the radio.
You don't think they pulled it off?
No.
Oh.
You got to be extremely careful. I would never bring any of that shit they just talked about to our show. Never. But they move on. And now they do a Kinnison-esque bit.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Humble and Fred.
Now the funny.
It's about cooking turkey.
Yeah, and it just reminded me, because they talked about doing stuff on stage, and I was like, this is amongst the greats, Kinnison and...
Right. Yes, they're saying that what they do on their radio show is funny, and it also translates to a stage. Which is the stupidest concept I've ever heard, but let's see how funny they are in this clip.
Can't remember anything else.
Well, don't they tell you to take it out like half an hour before?
How many times? I've said that to you so many times. What? To you. It's all about when you take it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like my meat thermometer says 190. Would that be Fahrenheit or Celsius?
It's 160-something for turkey, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, is it?
Celsius.
Whatever it is. Whatever your meat thermometer says, take it about 10 degrees sooner. And just put it on the counter because it continues to, covered, on the counter.
It continues to cook. Oh, no, I hear you.
So take it out early, and that's the key. People keep it in the oven right up to temperature.
Wrong.
And then take it out, and that's when it dries out. Figure it out.
No, I knew somebody who would take it out, cut it up, and then put it back in the oven to keep it warm.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, why don't you just kill us?
Just why don't you
Give me
just
sandpaper?
Get a load of this when we do our little fall thing sometimes. There's a person when it's their turn to do the turkey, they'll cook it the day before.
No.
And then slice it and then just serve it. And it's just like, you might as well just take it and throw it in the garbage.
I'm to the point that now I think they're just delusional.
These guys are good.
This is
good humor.
Now, look, let me tell you something. I understand not everything is going to be hilariously funny, but it should at least be interesting.
Right.
You should at least be able to listen and go, oh, you know what? That's kind of a compelling little story or argument or discussion, whatever. That was useless.
They might as well have read from a cookbook.
Yes.
Because I think that's what they were doing.
You didn't like it?
Horrible.
No.
We don't have to say much about this. They're horrendous. Let's say hi to Paul in Canada. Paul.
Hey.
Paul A. No? What is that? What is that beep thing? I don't know. Aaron in Canada. What's up, Aaron?
Not much. Those guys used to be funny like maybe 10 years ago. Now they're extremely bad.
But how long have they been on the radio?
They've been on up here, honestly, for like a long time.
So,
like since I was a young lad.
So why is it, and I swear to you, that I've never heard of them until yesterday?
Well, because they used to split up, and then one would go one way and go to a different town, like Kingston or whatever, Montreal.
Where are they
something
now?
Like that.
Where are they now?
They're just podcasting now, I hear.
Yeah, they used to be in Toronto. They got kicked off the air because they were a little bit risque for Canada, us. So,
what do they do that got them kicked off the air?
Too much turkey talk?
Well, there's more turkey talk, by the way, Ed. Good news for you.
Good thing. I love that turkey talk.
All right. Well,
really?
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not a problem. Thank you, guys.
Here's, they keep the comedy turkey themed going, but move the focus to the turkey wings.
Okay.
A little more specific.
Turkey wings are good, too.
Yeah, it's the best part.
The
definitely.
tips, you can't. They're tough. But the meat on the long wing is just delicious.
Do you think there's a business model for you and I to open up the first hot turkey wing pub type of thing?
It's funny you say that. I went to a restaurant on the weekend I have a cousin who's from out of town.
Yeah, where is she?
Oh, no, she's going to come in a little bit. I haven't seen her literally since I was 7 years old. So it's been,
20 years.
Sure, thank you. But her daughter goes to Humber down the street and everything, so I got acquainted with her, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we went to this restaurant. Tapas, you'd absolutely love it. One of the things is 2 turkey wings.
Why
You're
don't we
kidding me.
I swear to God.
Yeah, you
and
couldn't
they're
do that, though.
Like
No,
that.
I know.
It would be way
Mostly.
too expensive.
This is mostly
you know what? They had-
doing a bit.
This could be the most mundane show we've ever listened to, as far as the whole Jocktober bit. This is so mundane.
But my favorite part was the very last thing in that clip.
What? You're kidding me? Like, oh my God, that's amazing.
The silence?
No, he goes, I was mainly doing a bit.
What bit?
I was mainly doing a
What
bit.
you just heard just now.
What
That was
bit?
a bit?
Was a bit.
Well, by me, I missed it. A bit of what?
Let's say hi to a bit of diarrhea, I would say. So Stephanie in Fort Bragg. Stephanie.
Yeah, I think that all the women that listen to you guys completely agree with you, because the woman that you're listening to right now sounds like a dry fucking cunt.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, she sounds like she needs to go pick some fucking flowers or something.
I think it's an insult to women, that listen to radio. That these PDs think that that's going to represent them on radio shows. It's embarrassing.
Absolutely. I think that they need to. With women aren't like that. You know what I mean? In real life, seriously, are we really gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try on some little baby's fucking jacket because it's so soft?
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't fucking think so.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye. Let's say hi to Joe in Oklahoma. Joe.
Hey, you guys, on the heels of one of the greatest unmasked of all time, these clowns say that what isolate things that you say are not funny on stage.
Right.
that's fucking ridiculous. You guys could do a show in a different city every fucking day and sell it out.
I mean, it's not our...
On a stage. We're on a stage, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's not our strength, but we certainly pull it off, and we could, throw a few lines out there and get people laughing. Yeah, we were on a stage at Caroline's for Unmasked, and we certainly got a lot of laughs in. So,
I think they actually are. They're on the radio now. I think.
Who? Humble and Fred?
Yes, CIKR FM.
Well, they're on Sirius XM, Canada.
Well, good for them. They're horrendous.
They're on Sirius XM.
Thanks, Joe.
They're in Toronto and in Peterborough.
We got two more. You want to try to get through this?
Please.
All right, so it's Humble and Fred who said they're funny, we're not, except for Jim Norton. And our stuff doesn't translate to a stage or something like that. I don't even understand that.
These are your fans, Jim.
And they got a horrendous hole that is just adding absolutely nothing on top of their nothing.
You mean Eileen?
That's her name?
That's her name.
All right. Guys do a little improv comedy riffing with their intern, Tori.
That's something you guys have done.
All right.
Are you from a broken home like so many of the youth?
Yeah, I am.
Are you really? I just took a guess.
Of course. Well, my parents got divorced when I was like 6 months old, so.
Really?
So
it's not too soon to talk about it.
No, not at all. But,
do you need a moment? How does that? That's weird, though. Did they ever talk to you about that? What happens, like, at 6 months? Like, you'd think just the responsibility of a child might keep them together till you're maybe a year. Well,
I don't know. My dad was working a lot, apparently.
What was he? Oh.
Yeah.
Can't relate to that.
Did they explain it this way? We can't. Yeah, we can't relate. Wait a second. When you say working a lot, you mean like past 11 in the morning?
Like a job when you get up in the morning, you don't want to go to it? Right. One of those?
Like where you have to be somewhere all day.
With pants on.
Tori.
Yeah, one of those.
Jesus Christ.
It's funny, though.
I don't...
Is she pretty?
They have no business...
Eileen?
Tori.
They have no business taking shots at us. We don't even know who the fuck they are. I don't care they took shots, to be honest with you, but it just makes you, it gives us an excuse to listen to them. And make fun of them, because obviously they're horrendous. Let's go to Chris in Toronto. Chris.
Hey, guys, this is the reason why I bought Sirius XM. These guys were on 102.1 in Toronto.
Right.
For the worst show ever. Got sent to AM radio, and now I'm like radio.com or something.
Okay. Why did they get kicked off the radio in Toronto?
The ratings were terrible, and they wanted to move to a bunch of guys that were a lot younger.
Oh, right. I don't know what their fans are doing.
Right.
Like, I don't know if this is one of their bits, but there's a photo of a man who has pronged his penis.
Why would you prong your penis?
But it says snippy snappy. I don't know if that's what they were.
That's what snippy snappy means.
Snappy. Could be.
I was reading their Wikipedia, and there was one. They broke up a couple times, like in early '90s. They've been around since '89.
Right.
And then recently, a few years ago, they were on some Light FM or whatever station, and one of the guys got yanked by the station because the ratings weren't good, so they just changed the name to the Humble Fred Show. But I guess that didn't.
All right. Let's say hi to Patrick in Jersey. Patrick.
Hey, what's up, Opie?
Hey.
You're a little full of shit, man, because you talk about your fucking kids all the time.
Hey, you stupid fuck. You didn't even get my point. First of all, I don't talk about my kids all the time because I don't want to put them in the public spotlight, and I carefully pick some of the shit that goes on at home that might be entertaining or funny to these guys. I don't come in here with just mundane fucking baby talk, and that was my point, you stupid fuck.
I never heard
I'm so
any
done
jumper,
with people that don't
jumper
listen.
stories. Never heard any jumper stories.
I purposely don't come in here with stories about my kids. Every once in a while, I'll come up with something that might be entertaining.
Seriously, though, how quick do they outgrow their shoes?
Exactly.
So
Did I ever come in
fast.
with shit like
Few
that?
weeks.
So fast.
I'm so sick of fucking people that don't even listen or get the point you're trying to make.
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't bring, I didn't talk about my kids on the show, but I'm very careful about that because I know how boring that could be if you bring the wrong shit to the show.
That's why you got to talk about, what kind of little jumper.
Right, exactly.
In stranger news, there is a photo of the mom from 90 Day Fiancé.
Right.
and it's on their Facebook page, Humble and Fred, and under it says "Time for a man sandwich."
Oh.
So that is.
I love the fact that she enjoys a good man sandwich.
Manwich.
All right, finally, one more clip from Humble and Fred. Oh. The divorce comedy continued. What's the divorce comedy?
Well, they were talking about the intern being a child of divorce.
Oh, right.
In a comedic
I already
fashion.
forgot. I swear I forgot what the last clip was. So the intern's from a broken family, I guess?
Well, yeah, the intern said that her parents got divorced when she was 6 months old. So that's just, I mean, there's just tons of comedy there that they've been going through.
Right, okay.
Did they explain to you they broke up because you ruined their marriage?
I did not.
I'm just asking.
That was the best
Well,
part.
see, that's funny because that's what I was getting at, and then you say it.
Yeah, well,
I was going to say something
my
flippant
job.
like, "Oh, geez, they couldn't handle you that much."
Well, no, but you make. I mean, I'm again doing a comedy bit, but really, you think, okay, you're together, you have this beautiful child, and then 6 months into it, you go, nah, this isn't working for us anymore.
Well, they had my sister. She's 2 years older than me,
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
they had me 2 years later.
Yeah,
and then
so it's not
All right, Humble and Fred, good
I
luck
like
to you.
flippant. The word flippant is never good.
Good luck to you.
Wow.
Maybe we're just missing the comedy. I don't know.
That was a good,
I swear.
a good little example, too. It wasn't just one thing that we sat and listened to and went, oh, that's terrible.
Right.
You know, because anybody could do that. That was a lot.
There's
A lot of who gives a fuck talk by these guys. What's Sam?
There's a photo on Humble and Fred's Facebook page. And the photo is here in our studio.
Right.
But it's in our hallway. And it's Club Soda Kenny and William Shatner. And they're sitting next to each other, but William Shatner is ignoring Kenny.
Right.
But the key to the photo is, while he's ignoring Kenny, Terry Clifford is performing fellatio on Mr.
Come on.
Shatner.
That didn't happen, did
That's what
it?
in the photo.
Did that happen?
That did not happen,
it
Sam.
missed-
I missed that.
Because in
Paul.
the photo is the only thing.
Paul in Canada. Paul.
Huh?
Yo, Paul.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
You already fucked us once. Let's do this. You're the guy that called earlier. You called back. So.
Fantastic sailor service that we have in Canada.
Uh-huh.
Not to mention Humble and Fred. They stink. They always did stink, and they're no good. I don't know how they can trash talk you guys when they got nothing to offer. They used to try some outrageous stunts like you guys, and they were just garbage. Like, not even close. They're absolutely horrible.
Well, I mean, we gave him a fair shot today, and I
Certainly
didn't.
did.
I didn't find anything amusing whatsoever in there, or interesting, like Ann
Nothing.
pointed out. If you're not going to be funny, you got to at least try to get
something going,
some interest going with your radio show.
Somebody commented on one of their posts,
Right.
You guys are a chippa off the old block.
Oh, nice.
That's funny
That's,
right there.
Well, at least it's clever.
I
Little
believe it's-
wordplay humor.
That's what I thought it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy has a comment. Nova Scotia checking in. Mr.
Who
Leahy.
wanted Viscosia?
Mr. Leahy.
I'm the chippy.
boys.
Stop it.
Hey.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
What's happening?
What's up?
These guys got to be kidding me. They're just not Gouda.
Oh, the cheese jokes.
We can't do the cheese jokes today.
Oh, God.
I feel like they have some really good stuff.
Right.
They maybe just toned down the jokes a little bit and were a little more serious. They might have been able to. I don't know,
yeah.
Maybe you could go see Jim Norton at Caroline's this weekend.
Ooh.
Nice save.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Nice
Nice
save.
save.
All right, there you go. There's Humble and Fred.
Humble and Fred. Yeah, and I mean, we must have caught them on a bad day because they have one of the wildest Facebook pages
Really?
I've ever seen. on
Well,
a
at
radio
least
show.
they're trying to get a good Facebook page going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a photo of Roland who appears to be nude and eating grapes. Picture of Michael Jackson with E.T. and it says Alien versus Predator.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny.
There's a photo of you, Opie.
Yeah.
And it's the photo of you sticking your finger out with your mouth open.
Right.
It says Gregg Opie Hughes wants you to go viral. And by that he means get AIDS.
Wow. That's not nice.
Wow.
Not nice.
Oh, well.
Who's that girl?
Well, it's a girl. She's wearing a shirt. If you look closely, Chip Chipperson is on her shirt. And it says Chippy Kaye, motherfucker.
I'm filling.
Let's say hi to Dan in Canada. One more call on this crap. Go ahead.
Hey, boys, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Listen, man, I don't get to listen to you guys enough. I'm in the military and I'm away a lot, so when I do get to catch you, I enjoy the show a lot, and I've listened to this Humble and Fred, and for the love of Christ, the only reason I want to know what channel they're on Sirius XM is so I can block it. These two jackasses are not funny. They're garbage, and I think the only reason they're chewing on you guys is so that's their only hook. So you start mentioning them, and they're that desperate for listening.
Well, that's the risk you take mentioning other radio shows, but I think it's safe to say that most of us will forget completely about these guys by noon today.
Well, Humble
so I'm
and
not
Fred,
too worried about it.
Humble and Fred are not afraid to mention another radio show. If you go to their Facebook page, there's actually a photo of Mike Francesa about to spill his Diet Coke.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, these guys are a couple of real. They're total. They've been about 4 or 5 radio stations in Canada. They were junk. They got moved on. I know there was a guy in Canada who I thought was a really good guy. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Dean Blundell.
No.
I know Dean.
Oh, do you?
No.
I'll check him out, I guess.
Yeah, check him out. He got thrown off of 102.1. He was really, really controversial. He'd been warned by...
I don't care.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Still enjoy the show, man. This is the only station
I don't care. He doesn't care. I don't care.
Sorry, something's bleeding through. What were you saying?
I said this is the only...
I don't care. I don't... He doesn't care. I don't care.
Nothing better than that one.
What's the name of that?
But if I could bring this,
Chip.
If I could bring this instant replay on a stage, that would be funny, right?
That'd be great.
I'd have to push buttons and
play
shit.
them. Yep.
Their post about today's show, one of the comments is, Snippy Snappy, double guns, bitch.
Double guns.
That's a good one.
Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, right?
Fucking assholes.
I want to know what this Tory looks like from the broken home.
Yeah. Well, we could figure that out during the break.
Smelling a little limp over by the water hole. Smelling a little cracked hoof over there. The old watering hole.
Can they smell a cracked hoof?
Oh, can they ever?
Really?
They just smell fucking injury. I don't know how.
A cracked hoof probably gives off an odor, right?
Maybe.
Like rot or...
Yeah, I think it's just like an injury. Gives off some kind of vibe, and they're like... Yeah, they come creeping over. Fucking rip its throat out. Love it.
All right, we're going to take a break. We got Russell Simmons coming in about a half hour. He's not going to sit here and talk about meditation, is he?
I think that's what his book's about.
I do like to meditate, believe it or not. Believe it or not, especially if you heard me going after that caller, but I like meditating. But I can't imagine actually having a long conversation about it.
Yeah.
I goofed on it a little bit on our show, but he's not going to talk about meditation the whole time, is he?
What if we can get you guys centered?
We're centered. Relax on that.
Huh?
We're very centered here.
You're a bit left of center.
Oh, boy.
What are you, Hannity? You want to talk about meditation today yet?
No.
I'm curious. There are certain things about meditation that I'm like...
Why do you say it that way?
I'm just curious, that's all.
About what?
Meditation. I want to know about it. I've never been able to do it.
You want to know about what?
I'm tense and I'm always high strung, and some people just enjoy meditation. I'm not very good at doing it.
No.
No.
Well, you could ask Russell about it.
Yeah, could you teach me how to meditate?
Meditate.
We'll probably talk about something else before Russell, so stay where you are.
All right.
More Opie and Anthony in a minute.
We got a guy in Singapore. He just waded through that Humble and Fred crap, so...
I'll take this thing.
Let's,
Yeah, or the thing of rich, right? Go ahead, get to him.
Let's give him a minute or two, and then we got Russell Simmons. He showed up early. Ashman, what's up?
Because I'm the Ashman.
I'm so sorry about doing that. I was just buying food, and I was waiting for you all. So, yeah, I'm a huge fan. I love you all. Jimmy, I love you so much. You guys are amazing.
How are you listening to us in Singapore? I get so confused by this.
I'm a huge fan of of Patrice O'Neill, and I was just reading about him and looking.
Bad news for you.
I
You might want to sit down.
I know.
You might want to sit down if you're behind on the show.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because I'm behind. I know what happened to Patrice. I've listened, I've listened to the show, and I try and catch up as much as possible. But the only way possible for me is through YouTube, So yeah.
I mean, we're all, extremely bummed to this point that Patrice is no longer with us. But I got to tell you, he turned a lot of fucking people onto this radio show. So
yeah, he was amazing. He was amazing.
I
found him through appearance on Jimmy Fallon, and I thought he was hilarious. And I started watching his comedy bits, and then I was already a fan of people like Louis C.K. and Bill Burr. And then I used to see Jim Norton on Jay Leno, but I didn't know who he was really, and I didn't know he was a comic and stuff. And then through the show, I found out he was a comic. And Jimmy, I loved your special.
Thank you,
and
man.
I love your stuff. And you guys are amazing.
Thank you. This was a good call to take.
I know. I just love it.
We're basking in your compliments. Thank you very much.
And it's Singapore, so we feel like we should give them a few minutes here.
I know, right?
Believe me, if you were from South Brunswick, you would have got the I don't care plate.
The old lax.
I really enjoyed it. I don't care. But
yeah, this is the exact same phone call from the other guy.
It really is. Because you said Bill Buh, we all kind of like you.
And you're calling from Singapore. We feel like we got to leave you alone.
You ever had a good caning? They love doing that in Singapore.
It's what do you call it, corporal punishment in schools. They dwell you out that I've been caned a lot of times for smoking in school, for truancy and stuff like that. Caning is just a normal thing. If you don't get caned, you're a faggot. That's basically it.
All right, listen, we got Russell Simmons. He's coming into the studio.
Thank you very much.
Calls back, Ashman. I appreciate it. All right.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Goodbye. Thank you for the call.
Russell Simmons back in studio. My God. Big famous.
How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
I can't believe you guys let me back on.
Really?
Oh, why not?
You're a nice man.
My team said that that you can't go on their show now. They're not having a lot of guests.
Well, we go through stages.
We've gotten picky with the guests. Yeah,
we kind of go through stages, and we need to just take a break in general, and because we feel like we can't get our own stuff in because we have to interview
our very important commentary on the day.
All of a sudden, we can't do our dick jokes and
dick jokes with me.
The people clamor for them, and what are we going to do?
Right.
Deny the people what they want? How dare anybody?
Not to put you on the spot, but we got a very interesting call. Nothing too bad, by the way, from a guy who said he wants us to ask you about Occupy Wall Street. He didn't understand why you were supporting Occupy Wall Street because you kind of have your own credit. Did he say credit card?
Yeah, he was talking about
debit
credit
card.
card.
You have a debit card.
Get your money 2 days early.
And you're sort of in
rush. I built a whole industry, and they all followed me. Like American Express borrowed my idea.
Right.
Really?
Chase Manhattan borrowed my idea. Walmart borrowed my idea.
Wait, what's the idea now?
The idea was to build a virtual bank for people, underserved communities.
Right.
In other words, people who had no bank account could now have a debit card where their money was deposited directly in their account, and they could then, interact with the world. Other than that, you fucked.
Right.
But you don't do that.
With no card, no plastic.
But you didn't do that through a bank at first?
A bank? Yeah, I didn't occupy for any other reason. I occupied because our government is flawed, because money rules our government, not people.
Right.
And I occupied for the most everything we complain about is because some politician was paid.
Right.
Whether it's the prison industrial complex or the tax system or whatever it is that we don't like, it's because lobbyists have overrun our government.
Right.
And what we want is, and I even wrote a constitutional amendment, which and everybody at the Progressive Caucus, all the Democrats, they're motherfuckers. They definitely do not want to get money out of politics.
No.
They definitely, because that's how they stay in office.
Of course.
So you didn't care about people like the 1% of rich citizens. It was more the government.
Why the fuck, because you're rich, you can't help the poor? That's stupid. I mean, that's unreasonable. If you're rich, you can't help the poor. You can't occupy. You can't want to make the government more fair. You can't want to make this country more of a place for everybody.
It's seen as hypocritical, yeah.
They say, oh, you got money, why the fuck are you occupying? I got money, I run 5 charities.
Well, that's why it's a good question, because that guy was a little confused by the whole thing.
Yeah, well, if you can't, Well, Reverend Ike would say, that's not true, though. The poor can't help the poor, but that's not true at all. Of course, you can help yourself and others, and your prayer is greater than your work. But if you have resources, you should use them to benefit others.
How, at what point, like, 'cause everyone has a cutoff point. I heard Reggie Jackson, when he got a lot of money, would let people come to him once. Like, people who he knew.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay them off, man. Broke motherfuckers to show up. Like, they just show up and they're your friend. But I like to help kids. Adults, I can help once, and that way I help you once. And you don't pay me back, then I have to fuck with you.
It's like I helped you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
I want to,
Right.
But if they have relatives and they want their cable turned back on or something, but you know, that's not your job. Your job is
to be paid back, that's very interesting, because a lot of people think that, you know, they come to you for a favor for some money and you help them out. They just assume, oh, you have so much money, I don't have to pay you back.
You don't have to, then you don't have to call them.
But the problem is, in my life, is that they don't even have the discussion. You know what I mean? They just assume.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't have the discussion later because I don't pick up.
I would be a good guy in the end, but they just assume, like, hey, man, I need to pay my oil bill, whatever, and you give it to them. But then there's never a conversation about paying.
Honestly,
back.
I think out of every dollar I've given out, I've probably been paid back 2 cents.
That's what I'm getting at.
About 2 cents.
But that's
out of a dollar. Yeah.
In a way, that's okay. But what bothers me, I'll say it again, is that there's not even discussion. It's just assumed, like, I got money from you, and you don't need it back.
Yeah. I get that.
You get it, right?
Yeah. And they could just borrow it and pay you back without interest. Like, because you're not going to charge interest like a bank, and I wouldn't charge my. So it's like if they pay you back, you're still getting a loan with no interest.
We're not a bank, Jerry.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, people. But I figure a guy with your kind of money, people come around, and there's got to be a cutoff point.
They say I'm richer than I am. I mean, every time I'm with a girl that's a hot girl, they like, this nigga's worth this much, and it's not really true. They're just trying to, they try to figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
You got a lot of money, sir.
I ain't got that.
You got a lot of money.
JC, I ain't got that type of paper.
That's all.
I don't sell vodka. You know what I mean? Puff's getting more money than God. I mean, he's getting paper.
He's up
and
there on the
Jay-Z,
list.
if he opens his mouth,
Right.
they're going to give him $1 million.
Yep.
But when those are your comparisons, like, look, I don't my much as Puff or Jay-Z.
I shouldn't even say
You're doing really well.
That's not fair. But I mean, I always read that. That's my comparison.
Right.
But anyway,
oh my God!
Wait! Before we get to the book, is that that hat? Is it what I'm thinking?
It's not what it is. It looks like me, but no, it's narrative. It's my advertising agency.
Oh, okay.
It's a creative digital solutions company. I have a company called All Def Digital.
All right.
And we do all kind of fun shit. If you go to All Def Digital, you'll see comedy, poetry, and crazy comedy, and ridiculously, fun poetry and a lot of music.
Right.
So ADD is the name of the company. And this narrative is a creative arm. It does digital solutions like creative campaigns for lots of companies.
Okay,
but it integrates nicely. So
it's very clever because
the N looks the dash, and then the dash looks like
the dash could be for word.
Yeah.
You've been involved in comedy for a long time with Def Jam, and you got into a bit of a snag with the Harriet Tubman sex tape.
No,
but
don't bring that shit up.
No, but the reason I'm asking you is because you've had a great history with comedy, and it seems like sometimes you try to do something and it just gets misconstrued. And
everything, my poetry, I got a Tony, but when I put it up, I had a lot of people picketing. They didn't like the anti-war poets. They didn't like the Palestinian girl. They didn't like the Jewish boy who had they didn't like anybody. And they were upset about the poetry. And then Def Comedy Jam, when we started, the NAACP, and everybody went insane. They forgot, now they honor Martin, Jamie, Cedric, Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker. They honored, Dave Chappelle. They honored Steve Harvey. They honored, all these guys became famous. They liked them better. But when they told those first jokes, they didn't like them very much.
Right.
And Public Enemy, who's now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they shot my office that we were hiding under the desk. The JDL shot up our office. The head of the JDL. He went to jail.
Wow.
A sniper. Because they didn't like what Public Enemy was saying. So, over a period of time, they soften up.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So you've had the controversy and you've dealt with it. What happened with this, and where do they misunderstand? Like, what was your intention that they just took wrong, and then you're like, oh, shit.
It happens all the time. I don't want to discuss that shit no more, man. But I am now producing a piece, and I've read 100 scripts on Harriet Tubman. But I contacted the family. They were really, cool. And I thought I was going to do Frederick Douglass, and then there was some complications with that. I have a deal at HBO, like 5 different shows in development. And one of the shows, which I'm looking for a writer for, and I've read all the scripts out there pretty much, is Harriet Tubman. I think it's a great kind of docuseries.
I'm always surprised. It's like whenever you do any
I shouldn't say
kind of...
docuseries. I mean,
Right.
miniseries.
Right. My instinct when somebody misunderstands anything I do is to get angry. I tend to get very angry and get very defensive and attack. But you kind of came out nicely and said, all right. And you
I
just...
apologized immediately. I never apologized for shit. But that when I said, you know what, people are really mad, and I don't want them. You know.
Do you personally think that like nothing is untouchable as far as the arts go, comedy, poetry?
I feel that way
personally, right?
Personally, I feel like whatever they want to say,
that's
because that's art.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, you express what's in the heart, and the problem is poets, like rappers, and poets or any other kind of artists, they say things that are in the heart, and most people guard the heart so much they don't even know what's in it. They don't know how sexist, racist, homophobic, gangster we are. They don't know that. Like rappers are less homophobic than their parents, right? They're less racist than their parents. They're less sexist than their parents. They're less gangster than our government. I mean, they're not so bad as you think, but they're saying what's on our heart, and we can't believe how sexist they are. In the back of our mind, we're thinking ass and titties. That's the song, right? That's the song, right? But they say it. You can't believe these fuckers say that.
Right.
But that's what we're thinking. That's what artists' job is, to express what we're thinking.
Yeah, and for some reason, it's when an actor portrays someone in a role, that's fine if they play somebody who's racist or sexist or homophobic. But if you're doing it in comedy or in poetry, and it seems to be connected to who you really are a lot more.
Mostly it is, and that's, if it's, as a comedian, I don't think I would be saying a whole bunch of homophobic stuff, because I'm not a homophobe. I've been a gay rights activist. I wouldn't be saying I wouldn't be making fun of,
Do you think there's any funny gay jokes out there?
Lots of funny gay jokes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
There's funny black jokes, funny white jokes.
Yeah,
funny,
absolutely.
It's a weird thing, too, when you're writing, when you're doing material and trying to make... Because, like, as a poet, you talk about something, and that's kind of... You're incorporating it into your art, or when you're an actor. So as a comic, the only way to incorporate something into your art is to be funny about it, whether it's making fun of it or making fun of the reaction to it.
Right.
So as a comic, when they tell you don't do this, they're really taking away your ability as an artist to discuss something that an actor or a poet can talk about.
Yeah. I'm not offended by any artist's expression. I don't I don't have to agree with everything these people say. I'm not offended by Bill O'Reilly. I'm not offended by, Sean Hannity.
Right.
Roger Ailes is my friend. I mean, they're all fine by me. I don't have the same political beliefs as them, but
I wish it was
angry.
easier to have honest discussions in this day and age.
That's what I do with the imams and rabbis in 40 countries. And we have hundreds and hundreds of programs. And they come out loving each other.
Yeah.
When they actually just talk. And I talk to people who have different political or social beliefs or whatever the fuck, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't feel damaged, because they're different.
No. If you talk to somebody who just shares your viewpoints on everything, it's going to be a short, dull conversation. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You run in some amazing circles. Like, you have groups of friends in very, very different areas.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things about life, is that you can be in different places. That's really good.
I got to tell you, you helped a guy and he wants to talk badly.
Really?
Paul in Jersey. Paul.
Yeah. Hold on, he's putting his headphones on.
Hold on, Paul. Hold on.
Paul.
All right, now go.
What's going on?
How you doing, Russell? I just wanted to talk to you. Actually, you helped out a friend of mine years ago. His name's Kareem Ramos. I know you know Kareem pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he works for me, and now he's become this fitness expert.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
man.
he's been a big inspiration on my life, too, and he always talks to me about how much you helped him out and all you did for him, and really showed me a side of you that I had never known, through the media.
He sent me a text yesterday morning about my book and it was really nice what he wrote. So I get the shout
What do you mean
out.
you helped him out? He was down on his luck, or?
Well, how did I help him? Yeah.
Well, no, he explained, because actually he has a book from Fat Farm to Fat Farm where he was a really heavy kid, and his brother had wound up passing on, and he got in shape and was doing really well, but was still struggling a little bit on the work circuit, and somehow, I'm not exactly sure, came into contact with Russell, and Russell and him really hit it off, and, obviously now he's working for Russell, but I know that you helped him out a lot with publishing his book, and he really is an inspirational type person, a very positive person, and, he credits a lot of that to Russell.
Look at that, paying it forward. You helped him out, and now this guy's helping Paul out in Jersey.
All right, that's good news.
All right, Paul.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
It leads to the book, Success Through Stillness. Meditation Made Simple by Russell Simmons.
They told me don't write this fucker. They said, please don't write.
Really?
Yeah, because the Super Rich really is a state of needing nothing.
Right.
It was a big bestseller. And it was a way it talked about the Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita and lots of scripture. But I simplified it. I made it easy to digest. But the title, you know, it made sense. It was easy. And Oprah sold those 2 books, sold the hell out of them. And then publisher says, you're going to write a book on meditation? All right, we'll pass.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I said, well, I'll take a fifth of the money. Give me a big backend. And now this book is bigger than the other 2 books combined.
Wow.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
People need quiet time, you know, kids in schools. I wrote this book, and my daughter told me it was remedial at best. She's 11. But that's okay. I did open it a couple days ago, and she told me it was the best book on meditation she's read.
Really?
A very simple book. And it's such a simple craft, you know, to study.
What are people's biggest misconceptions about
anybody can
meditating?
meditate?
Yeah.
A little bit of patience.
Yeah?
All you need. You've got a mantra, you sit your ass still. My 11-year-old's been meditating 3 years. For 20 minutes every morning, I meditate with my 2 daughters, 14 and 11. I take them to school. Every kid in every school should have quiet time. The doctors, the neuroscientists talk about it in ways. The left side of the brain, right side of the brain separate when you're 8. They start separating, they start connecting when you meditate. You can see on a scanner the gray matter in the brain growing when you start to meditate. You have a more expansive mindset with greater brain functionality. Your immune system gets pumped up. If you have ADD, forget the Ritalin. You can just have quiet time instead.
Now, you were obviously involved in so many things. How do you clear your mind long enough to
I sit every morning for 20 minutes, no matter what.
But how do you just get everything out of your head?
You don't get everything out of your head. You let the shit
No.
float around. The idea of meditation is to let the brain's brain's like a monkey. It's going to bounce around your fucking head, going to go crazy. It's going to say, fuck you, go to the refrigerator. You know, why don't you hit that one more time before she leaves? All kinds of shit. While you're sitting in quiet time, you got, you know, and the mind goes crazy, and you say, I can't leave till the alarm goes off. Until before you know it, 3 minutes in, you're like, oh shit, I'm meditating. You know, if you repeat, I give a mantra, a mass mantra, rum. So if you repeat to yourself, rum, rum, and you focus on that, your mind can run away, but it'll come back gently.
I got a question. I actually meditate.
Yeah.
How do I get more out of it? Because I feel like I sit there, I'm like, what the?
You don't have to look for anything.
Really?
If the mind settles,
I focus on the mantra, and I'm able to get sort of still, and then I hear, like,
you don't have to get.
I go to a yoga studio, and there's traffic outside. I hear a truck, or a dog barking, and I'm like, oh, great, I'm out of my meditation.
No, you want to operate. If you meditate regularly,
I'm a little intense with my
meditation. You
meditation.
carry it with you. It sticks. But it always sticks. If you meditate regularly, you will walk out into the street, and the car horn will blow, and you'd be like,
but how do you?
Car horn blew.
But how do you?
And you have to. You want to live, you want to be in moving meditation. And we're all moving towards moving meditation. You know, you play basketball, you've been in the zone.
Right.
You know what that is, right?
Sure.
So this idea of having an expansive mindset. You see the ball coming, you catch it with your left hand, you put it to your right hand, you give it to your man, and he dunks the ball.
Right.
I mean, if you're young and you still do that type of shit. But I'm saying, I used to feel, you know, and moments of complete, you know, be in the zone. Or you've been in the car accident, everything moves slow. The world is moving that slow.
Right.
But the fluctuations of the mind separate you from the world. So if you're driving your car, instead of missing how the fuck you got from A to B, you see every flower. And so what you want is to live in a meditative mindset. And with that expansive mind, you can't get no money in the future. You can only get, or in the past, you have to get it in the present moment. So being awake and present and focus make you better at everything you do.
What if you itch? I always itch when I've tried to meditate.
Scratch.
You can. You don't have to.
Fuck that. Just scratch it. But after a while, you know, like you'll want to swallow, or you'll want to scratch and be like, oh, fucking. Because you'll be so content that, you know, you won't even swallow. It's like a bomb going off in your head. Just sit and be patient, and the mind will settle.
One tip: you're in meditation, dude. I mean, you're obviously doing the mantra, but is there anything else you can focus on to just try to really get more out of it?
You know,
I'm trying to get more out of it somehow.
If you sit, I promise you, the mind settles, and the nervous system settles, and the immune system gets stronger, and the brain functionality gets stronger, and you become a more mindful eater, and you become a more meditative person. You don't get muscles out of one push-up. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep pushing up.
How long did it take you to get decent at it or to get comfortable
I've been
with it?
meditating for 20 years, but
Wow.
you know, my first meditation, my first experience, if anyone sits for 20 minutes, a long 20 minutes, the first 5 minutes could be hectic, could be turbulent. But there'll be moments you'll say, oh shit, I'm meditating. Then your mind will bounce around some
You're
more.
not supposed to say, oh shit, I'm meditating.
No, but you'll notice it. You'll like,
I know you said
it'll come to a second, you'll be like, wow, I'm really still.
Right.
And then your mind will bounce around some more. And then it will settle even more. It will transcend the thoughts even more. You can't push the thoughts out. Let the thoughts come and go. At first, you do an inventory. Shit's coming, and you're listening, and watching all the thoughts, and you're assessing them differently because it's not emotional. It becomes now just see the thoughts for what they are, and they're not hurtful. They're more hurtful when you're out in the world, and you don't want the fluctuations of the mind because they're the cause of all sickness and all sadness. The nervous mind, the monkey mind. So if the mind is still, the universe unravels. If the mind is fluctuating, that's why we drink, to shut the fucking mind up. We drink to calm the mind.
Right.
And we do things to calm the mind, but it's cloudiness or clarity. Clarity is the greatest gift. It's what God, it's this idea of God consciousness, or nirvana for Buddhists, or samadhi for yogis, or taqwa for Muslims, or Christ consciousness. I mean, everybody got a rap. And they're all talking about be still and know. All of them. And the prophets knew it, and now the scientists know it. So now I just put it in a book, because it's my passion, and the publisher wishes he had gave me the money. I give it to charity any fucking way. It's not like they could have gave me the money. They give me $8.50 a book, they gave me $120 for this book.
Wow.
And now they're going to end up paying a lot more, and it's all going to charity.
Wow, good for you, Russell.
Wow,
have you had really deep meditation experiences? Because we'll have a talk after meditation. Some of these people in this room, man, they're like on spaceships and stuff, and I'm like, what?
You fuckers on space? He means
No.
you.
No.
In
We don't meditate.
No, in my meditation,
in his meditation room.
I go once a week to a yoga studio.
You don't have to go to a class. You sit meditate by yourself. It's your eyes are closed. You're quiet.
It's kind of cool to do it with
It's
with
okay.
a group, but and then we talk about it. Their experiences are like, over the top sometimes. They're in a field with flowers. I'm like, what? I'm just trying to keep my thoughts out of my head for a little while.
You don't have to try to keep your thoughts out. That's a bad misconception.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
See, I've always been afraid I couldn't get rid of my thoughts. That's why I would just do it.
Right.
I have an itch. I'm like, fucked up. End of meditation. I would always stop.
No, you scratch.
I do like it. I like it a lot. It's helped me out, certainly.
So I'm really appreciative you guys let me on your show.
Well,
I felt like,
please.
I called, and because I called everybody. First of all, everybody said no.
So I think you should maybe...
Everybody said no. Now they all said yes. I mean, I sent the first teacher to Oprah, to Ellen DeGeneres. People with big mouths, I sent them. People with big voices, I sent them meditation teachers because I wanted them to spread. I mean, if I give anything to the world, poetry is great, comedy is great, records are great, the movies, they're making a bunch of movies now and TV shows and having fun in Hollywood,
Right.
But if I could get meditation into schools, and I'm working with the mayor now in Chicago about doing quiet time programs, and if I can reduce violence and save lives, then it'll be a greater contribution than the other shit.
Are they going to fight you and say that's prayer? Because Reagan tried to do that. When they were trying to pull prayer out of schools, when they were pulling it out, Reagan said, well, how about just give them quiet time?
Right.
Or meditate, whatever he called it. And they're like, no, that's indicative of prayer. Yeah.
No, I know. Believe me, I know. I have a school in Africa that we lost all our funding. I know a lot of our funding. I know that people... But sitting by yourself, the Buddha would say, and this is a religious, he said, check for yourself. Because fuck what the rabbi says or the imam says or they'll tell you to put a nigga in the oven in a minute. Them motherfuckers say, in a minute, a religious, group, gang will do anything. So what we need to do is look inside. If we looked inside, we'd say 40 billion animals born into suffering. Is that dominion over the animals, really? Born to suffer, to cause cancer? Did you hear the new shit about beef? I know they're going to get me. They're going to shoot me in the back of the head.
No.
You heard, right?
No.
That if you have beef as 30% of your animal protein, it's like 20 cigarettes a day.
Holy shit.
And that was on the news. I was on Dr. Sanjay. I was on Fox and Friends. I was on Dr. Oz. I mean, I was on these shows. It was the topic for discussion for a few days. This book has been a bestseller 7 weeks. So 7 weeks ago, this came out.
Wow.
Right then, when the first day of my book tour. And that's what news came out, and everybody talked about it. Even Fox and Friends was talking about this shit, and now it's gone. Now, you should knock on everybody's door and say, yo, Don't feed your kids steak.
The beef industry got to him, huh?
Probably.
I don't know if they got to me because people just stopped talking about it.
Or do you eat meat?
Oh, no, I've been a
vegan.
vegan for
Oh, that's right, you
long,
are.
long time.
We know
I don't
that.
fuck
I'm
with
sorry.
animals, man. I don't eat animals.
We do know that.
I'm 90. I got, I date younger women. I got to keep my shit in order. I can't fall apart, become look 90. I can't do that.
Are you ever going to settle down, Russell?
I've settled.
Yeah.
I have 2 beautiful daughters.
Nice.
I have a wonderful ex-wife. And I would do it again. Yeah, but right now, no.
That's a good way to put it, though. I date younger women. I got to keep my shit in order. That really is the motivator.
What page is it? What page is that in your book? I got to keep my shit in order.
I write my books. Sometimes I use honest language, and people like
That's
like my
good,
second
though.
book, Super Rich. I said something about Krishna and Arjuna. But the battle on the battlefield for to save this community, and Arjuna says, I want to go meditate. And Krishna's like, fuck that, go chop them niggas' heads off right now. Do your dharma, what's in front of you, although it may be uncomfortable. This is your dharma. This will bring you to spirit, to God. And so, and even yogis, imagine, right? They still talk about chopping heads off, but he basically said that. And I wrote it like that, and I kept laughing about it every time I read that. As you're writing a book, you write what you want to write, and then you edit it and you work on it. And I kept coming to that part and saying, "Am I going to leave this shit?" Yeah. And I left it. Not one person complained.
Good for you.
One Indian came to me and said, "I finally understand the Dharma in the Bhagavad Gita. I finally now understand that it's about Dharma." I said, "Thank you." He said, that passage I wrote about. Chopping niggas' heads off. Because that's what he basically said. Go and do your work. Go out in the world and do what's right. And sometimes it's not so easy.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you that you see in the news, or just the scuttlebutt around social media?
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the black blogs say I don't understand why in the fuck they would say this. I only like white women,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I date like African girls with, from African. I date, I'll date a nice person. I don't like people who eat a lot of animals if I can help it. I don't like fur. I don't like cigarettes very much at all.
Yeah.
But those are things I don't like. Doesn't mean I won't do.
Right.
We don't know what we like. We like nice people, sweet, compassionate, loving people, and that was one thing that I got a lot of. And I don't know what else. I think people. I'm pretty open. Yeah. I don't really I get mean press, but I don't. Conservatives don't like me very much. I'm more progressive. I'm somewhere to the left of Dennis Kucinich regarding politics. I love helping people. I believe in compassionate politics. And I like to use my celebrity to help others, and I like to get others to use their celebrity to help others. Like we write a letter, and that's what I discovered. It's not new to you, but it's kind of shocking. We wrote a letter to the Attorney General, and everybody signed it. Okay, NAACP, the Urban League, all the Latino. This was about the prison industrial complex, the Drug Policy Alliance, all these kind of people. Harry Belafonte, the great civil rights activist, Brad Pitt, and a bunch of Hollywood stars, Charlize Theron, whoever you think of. Everybody signed it. Got a little bit of press. We want to change the drug laws. Justin Bieber tweeted that bitch out. The Attorney General called. Hello?
Oh, shit.
Attorney General. Like, because shit gets popped. It's a real problem.
Right.
And the same thing happened with Kim Kardashian tweeted out, I'm Muslim for a day, when we were fighting against the inquiries that they were having in Congress. They shut Congress down because Kim Kardashian said so. Because they don't want it to go too pop. They don't want an idea that, that needs changing. The discussions with the drug laws, the first time when all the rappers came out, we had the big rally. The governor, the Republican governor, gave me the pen when he signed the bill to let a lot of people out of prison because he realized it was unjust and unfair, and the world was finding out. So I think it's important to get celebrities to pay attention when you can, because they can move the
in this day and age, in a second.
Most important 2 people in the world, Kim Kardashian and Justin Bieber.
Unbelievable. They'll get things done for you. Did you always want to help people, or was there something that happened in your life to set you down this road?
You get old. Over a period of time, you realize, as you get older, you become more, you learn what makes you happy and making others happy.
But you seem like the type of guy that was always looking out for others. Strangers.
I was always
such.
a nurturing person. I mean, I was a manager as a kid, right? Always throughout all the rappers and all that stuff, and I did that for a living. But I find that that's just the gateway to your own happy, selfish motivation. Helping others helps you. That's how I pay as a manager. What do? You get the guy hot. He pays you a check, right?
Did you go through like a really selfish period though, like where you were just
I was
all about
high as
yourself?
fuck my whole childhood. I mean, until I was 30, I was high as fuck. I smoked a lot of angel dust.
Really?
We call it water. the dumbest shit in the world. Only thing I missed that was a drug that everybody knows is bad for you is crystal meth because I was too young. When it came out, I was older. So I missed the chance to be a crystal meth head.
Damn.
Why would you call it water?
Oh, we call dust water. I didn't know that in L.A. they called it water, too. I did a Snoop show. He said, yeah, every so often I used to take a dip in the pool, too. I said, really? That's what they say in L.A.? He said, yeah, niggas used to take that's Sherm. But angel dust is really a very bad drug. And that's why I remember shit now.
Yeah.
I don't remember nothing.
You did it a lot?
I smoked a lot of dust. I sniffed a lot of coke. I smoked coke. I smoked heroin. I learned to smoke it on aluminum foil. That was fun. Like, you ever Chase the Dragon? You've seen that.
Oh, right, with the straw and the little thing
foil,
this little puff of smoke's coming up and it moves.
Yeah, he looks like, I don't know what that is, but then his face looks like I tried that.
And then I did it with hash oil. You used to take hash oil and put it on
the same kind of process.
And put the lighter underneath, and it would bubble up, and you'd smoke.
Yeah, that's the only way I ever did heroin and smoking. I was scared to do it. But I did every drug, and angel dust was my preferred drug. Water.
Wow.
How does that make you
bundle
feel?
Of water, 10 bags of dust.
What's that make you feel like?
Dumb as fuck. It's the same thing. It is like meditation because it's the cloudiness. When the mind is empty, and it's not fluctuating. It's like empty. Mm-hmm. You feel this bliss. And this is why we do all these other things, like we do the physical practice of yoga. We smile and breathe in every pose. Mm-hmm. That's the practice. And we meditate, and we want our mind to settle. We do good karmic work. We want our mind to settle. Mm-hmm. We want our mind at ease. Because when the mind is at ease, the universe, everything is beautiful. A corpse in a sunset, beauty. But when the mind is fluctuating, always a fucking problem. And that problem comes from the heart, the lack of consciousness. So that's true.
You don't yell? You're not like a big yeller?
Not as much. I used to yell. Yeah, I used to yell.
So are you sober now? I mean, what's your poison?
I'm sober now. I don't drink, smoke.
But how do you get off all that stuff if you loved it? Loved it so much.
Well, because I was 30. I had planned in my birthday that when I went to St. Bart's on January 1st, I was going to be sober, and I kept talking about it. And I kept saying, January 1st, nigga, yo, I'm not fucking with you on January 1st. And then they wouldn't believe me. And then. And then I just did it, I woke up one day at a time, and it was really an experience, it was an experience. It taught me a lot about myself, being able to do that, and that's 25 years ago now.
Wow.
26, damn, I'm old as fuck. I've been sober longer than my girl that dated been alive. And I was high longer than they were alive, too.
Hustle rules.
Oh, my God. We're still breathing. Fuck. We're so happy to be breathing.
You're pretty open and honest. I like that. Did you go through withdrawals? Was it really tough at first?
No, I didn't have any real addiction. Like, I didn't have really real addiction. It's hard to bring dust to St. Bart's, so I didn't smoke that during that time. And coke, I was not addicted to. I wasn't addicted to any drug. I just took a lot of drugs.
Right.
I might have had a small addiction to coke, but I wasn't really a smoker. Smoking is like obviously you smoke coke, freebase and all that shit. That'll make you. But I didn't have it. I didn't need it. It was psychologically addicted, and so every day for days, I would say, yo, you want to get high? Nah. Y'all niggas go ahead.
Were you, were you a little apprehensive about maybe your creativity dropping off if you didn't do drugs or booze?
Yeah, there's a moment where your body does go through some withdrawal, and you might have to kind of freedom, because what you do is you fuck your mind up, and then when you get sober, you're like, wow, I'm alive, Right. That's because it's such a bad experience, really, ultimately. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really have that experience, but I know that you can be cloudy, you be cloudy, but that's for a minute, then your clarity sets in. Mm-hmm. And the idea of clarity, there's where everything comes. Only in a second of stillness can you, can you really be creative or happy? Or
I think
anything.
A lot of artists' hugest fears about becoming sober is the fact that they would lose that creative edge that they have as far as acting or comedy or anything goes, music.
They could have a second, where they have to go through withdrawal, but it's not. The truth is, clarity is where it all comes. Mm-hmm. And when you're awake, and that's why I promote this awakened state, this idea is true, that all the prophets said it for a reason. There is a taqwa, the Muslims refer to. There is a Christ consciousness, nirvana. There is samadhi for yogis. And there is, you don't have to be totally enlightened, right? But you just want to be more and more open and more awake. Mm-hmm. Right? And this awakened state is a promise. And I don't want to tell kids that, because it's not about that. You can just ask the doctors, ask the neuroscientists, ask the, what happens when the brain is settled.
Mm-hmm. What happens when you die? What do you think?
That's a
What's
very
your thoughts?
tough question.
Of course it is.
I mean, for me, I believe God is like the ocean, and we're cups of God. That this idea of union is real, and quantum physicists are proving it to some degree.
Right.
That we're all connected. So this collective consciousness that you're a part of, your physical body doesn't separate you from it, but it's kind of. So I believe that this idea of being connected, and you're just part of a bigger, living, breathing entity. That's God.
But
I don't have the idea. I don't know exactly what would happen. Obviously, I don't have a strong belief system on what happens when you die. But this idea of just being reborn into different bodies sounds good if you're a big. I hope you're not born into a chicken that comes out. But it's not a problem.
Especially in Germany.
No, if you're born into a chicken and you come out and you're a girly chicken in a male chicken factory, as soon as you come out the shell, they put you up and fuck it.
Oh,
and then if you're a male in a male in a female factory, so fuck it. Animals, 40 billion, born into the worst suffering. It's not dominion over the animal.
Is that why you quit? Because I have an issue. I eat meat, but it is hard sometimes. I think of that, and I know the health risks.
The 20 cigarettes a day should get you off beef, right?
I don't eat much beef. Occasionally a steak. If I have a young lady friend, I take her out for a steak.
You know what we'll do for a lady friend?
Red meat's like once a month, maybe. For
if that's all, you're okay. But
maybe.
But I would say
the chicken thing is brutal when you start looking at videos, and we all love chicken.
Yeah, you do.
So what? So you quit 15 years ago, meat?
Yeah.
And what did you miss the most, and how long did you crave it?
I didn't really crave it like that. I didn't because there's so much. I just was lazy. I'd be sitting next to a friend, and I would want to eat their shit. But if I had something in front of me that was good, I could survive. And that's how I survived, by finding food. And now, I live in L.A. I'm here now. There's tons of vegan restaurants, and in L.A. they just keep sprouting up. Gourmet restaurants, all kinds of shit. I mean,
you can eat much better in L.A. than New York.
You can certainly eat much better vegan. They got veggie grill. They got a pastrami sandwich at this place called it's not real pastrami, but a big fat ass pastrami sandwich at a place called Native Food. It's the most unbelievable thing in the world. And they also have this Crossroads in this gourmet place. You can take a hot date and she won't know what the fuck she's eating. She'll just think it's whatever. And it's like kind of like fake stuff, but they don't use a lot of soy. They use pea protein and rice protein and wheat. And you don't know when you're eating a chicken parmesan what the fuck you're eating. So that's really, for a lot of people in transition, there's lots of great places.
Why do you say they don't use soy? Is that bad for you? Or does that give you tits if you're a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm doing a lot of push-ups in between Chaturanga. I'm doing push-ups these days because I'm worried about, I can't really have titties with.
Not with younger.
What's worse than when you're hanging over a girl and you just see your tits drooping? Oh, how embarrassing! It's not like my nipples tweedled too. That's it's an ugly scene.
I will pierce them bitches after that. It's like fuck it. Let's go on.
What about sushi? You eat sushi?
I do, but I eat like avocado rolls. Spicy avocado rolls good.
Yeah.
And there's all kind of shit you can eat. I mean, I always find stuff. You go to Nobu. I was there. I had the other day. I had a great meal. You can find something almost everywhere nowadays.
Is it easier if you have the means? I mean,
it is.
To be
Unfortunately,
a vegan,
having 4 or 5 green vegetable juice a day is $50. You know what I mean? I do that shit. I don't think about it. Give me a green juice. Give me a double. Give me a green juice with some apple. I'm always saying, give me a green juice, and that's $10 a hit.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Look, you got a green juice in front of you because you're rich.
Beets, spinach,
kale. You know how much beets and spinach and kale in that juice? That's a lot of shit.
That's right, man.
Right? And that's a lot of money. And it's unfortunate that we don't have alternatives that are accessible.
Why don't they at airports? I think of that every time I travel because I fly so much. I'm like, this is why we're a country of fat fucks because there's nothing in the airport.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts in that bitch.
Always. But there's no good
because people
healthy places.
aren't buying that stuff.
That's
so
100%.
It's the economics of the whole thing.
I see you at the Samsung.
I got
this
the
big
Note
joint right here, and this big.
The Note 3.
I love this shit.
I love it too.
I'm a
White glove, right? Are you a white glove guy?
Oh yeah. Plus they show up at your crib, fix your phone.
It's awesome.
They're amazing. See, we're talking about privileged shit,
right?
I think it's funny about white people can't talk about privileged shit, but black people can. No, for real. Check this out. Think about Gwyneth Paltrow, who's a lovely person. She says, "I'm eating dinner in this beautiful French restaurant in the south of France, and it's such and such, and you should try it." Niggas like, the fuck you talking about, bitch? I'm starving. You talking about trying it? They get really angry, like, how the fuck dare you talk about this restaurant I can't go to?
Right.
And Jay-Z and Beyonce have closed that bitch down. You can't go there if you want to. They will sit in the window of the motherfucker. right? They would sit in the window, eat in that French restaurant. The chef will stand over them, and people will come by and wave and cheer, and no one will be mad, right? Because I guess, coming from struggle allows you that freedom. But if you're in the second generation, you might not know. You say he's black, let him enjoy it, fuck it. White people, how dare you eat in that restaurant knowing I can't get there? Isn't it true? And I thought about the criticism of her being so cruel and so unusual and mean.
It was sort of unnecessary.
It's all the time. It's all the time. Because she mentioned the wrong restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, plus she remember the niggas in Paris thing? Oh my God, she was with the niggas in Paris. She shouldn't have said it, and I said, but give her a pass. Come on.
Right.
She said, she's with Kanye and Jay.
Yeah.
She's I'm with the niggas in Paris, and she tweeted that. That was her Harriet Tubman.
Wait, is that a quote?
That was her moment, when she's like, I made a mistake.
What's the quote? What was the quote
she
that you
simply
used?
said, I'm with the niggas in Paris, and showed a picture of her and Kanye and Jay. I think it was. I saw the tweet, and I was like, damn, she's in Paris, bitch. Like, I'm just jealous,
right? You didn't think like, oh, shit.
The next day, boy.
In a little bit of trouble.
But is Niggas in Paris a song, or is that just...
It's a huge song. They played the song like 5,000... At the end of the show, they played that song like 5,000 times.
Okay.
They both have an enormous number of hit records, right? Obviously, their libraries are ridiculous. The song Niggas in Paris, and that comes on at a concert. People just start going fucking crazy. It's a huge record. And so that was the name of the tour. Yeah. And the name of the show in Paris was obviously Niggas in Paris.
Right.
And she was there with them and said that, and man.
Name of the album.
But did she apologize or no?
She
or no? I would hope not.
Well, no, I would think that it's just if I'm like me, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but I don't believe. By the way, I don't think if you don't have a slave directly in your ancestry that you can point to, then you can't probably use the word. Like you guys can't, unless I gave you under my rabbinical supervision, if I allowed you to say it once, you could, but then I wouldn't do it because then tomorrow we'd be talking about it. You'd be like, shit, we don't want that pressure. I think it's intention. I'm more worried about if people have honest and sweet hearts than if they, use language that, is colorful.
I think a lot of words now are looked at just verboten, regardless of context. And a lot of times the context has nothing to do with
There's no good way to say fag.
Or
I didn't mean fag. Wait, there's no good, and there's nothing, it's not like my nigga. You can't say my fag. So there's no really good way.
I say it every morning when I see these two. But you can't, you can't.
Watch the gay ACP will get you.
Yeah.
But fag, when we were growing up, means, and I understand it's a vicious word.
But here's why it's vicious, because whatever it means, it's like, oh, you're just a fag. And so I didn't mean you were gay. But you meant soft, weak, these things, and it kind of ties into, there's no way out, there's no real explanation for that word because it doesn't have any, there's no my nigga, that's my nigga, I love, when you say, if I come to a group of people, white and black, who know me, right? I say, niggas, and they'll look at me and say, niggas what? They'll think like, what do you mean? Are you happy today? Or so they won't know. But if I walk into them and I say faggots, they'll be like,
oh, he's pissed.
What are you fucking
right, exactly. There's nothing nice about it.
But that can be and I'm not even saying it's a nice word. It's an awful word. But it can be an affectionate thing, like with your friends, where you don't mean, like, I'm not gonna do this. Don't be. Come on, you faggot. Like when people aren't trying to be hateful when they say that.
You got a lot of trouble. You better watch it.
But you know what I mean? There can be a way.
But he didn't mean it gay. But it does, and it doesn't. And without thinking about it, doesn't mean. But there's nothing good about it, and it's associated with a group of people, and so it's kind of hurtful, I guess.
You can't punish people because there was always a social justice.
But I wouldn't punish anybody for that, but I'm not, the judge. I'm not the judge. Everybody in the world
it is odd that so many people call for firings and all kinds of repercussions when somebody trips up.
People are born into a life of unequal treatment. They live an entire life, and the world won't change before they die. That their entire community is under the gun. They're born into a life where they will be unequal, no matter how much work they do to change it. They're going to die, and this world will still treat them unequal. And that's a very, very heavy weight to carry. Women, too. The president, they fought this motherfucker. All he wanted to say, give the bitches as much as we get. Pay them what we get as men. They should certainly have equal pay. They shouldn't, and the Republicans are fighting him. He just said give them equal pay.
Maybe we should start at the White House. They're paid 80% of what the men are paid.
Oh, at the White House?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I get that point, too. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Women are unequal And it's, you know, it's unfair, it's wrong. You know, gays are unequal, it's unfair, it's wrong. You know, African Americans, in many cases, are judged unequal, you know, and unfair, you know. So we want the world to be, we want to give everybody the same thing we want for ourselves. Whatever we think we want for ourselves, give it to other people.
Aren't there some instances of you get what you pay for kind of a thing in like women's equality as far as pay goes and
they're smarter
jobs
than us
and
and they work harder than us. They should get at least as much as we get.
Aren't there certain responsibilities that men have inherently and have had responsibilities over the years that sort of almost give a pass? Like, look, we're the ones that go to war and have over the years.
But we're not the one necessarily who's smart in the particular office place. I mean, I think if you're I don't even know how to express it. I just totally feel that women should get equal pay for equal work. You know, and that's all I'm saying.
But a lot of times the equal work thing is kind of mixed up. I know if I'm on the 5th floor of a burning building and a fireman's coming up the stairs to get me, I want it to be a big bruising guy that's
like,
gonna
like the girl on the throne.
Game of Thrones,
Game of Thrones. I saw her. I saw her in a restaurant the other day. Wow.
When she bowed because she was too fucking, she didn't know how to curtsy on Game of Thrones, so she bowed.
But that being judged on ability is fine like that.
Yes.
There being some type of quota just because there aren't enough women firefighters, so you take people that might not be as good at the job as somebody else just to make a quota. That to me gets dangerous.
I don't have a comment or I don't have a strong understanding or feel like I can comment on that. I mean, a woman police officer, you know, a woman fireman, a woman. I don't like a woman greeter. I honestly
really,
because then I'm not giving her my bag. If another privileged thing, you know, you go to the airport. I don't fly private. I have a greeter. The greeter meets me. And she says, "Can I take your bag?" I said, "No, fuck no. I'm going to carry this bag." You know, then I can't use my BlackBerry because I'm carrying my bag. And I thank you so much. And I secretly discriminate in my brain, and I secretly tell my man, "Yo, send me a dude, man, so I give my bag." I cannot give a woman my bag, because I'm taught not to do that. And in my mind, I want to be respectful. So that is, you know, I understand your point. I don't know how.
When
to
I'm getting my hair shampooed at the hair place, I want a girl. And it's just the fact that I don't
That's
like...
not right. Why?
I don't
like... Because if it's a guy,
why?
he's going to get a hard on.
I honestly just don't like the feeling of a guy like massaging my scalp like
your
that.
Man right there.
That's right. It's not so much
not even a homophobe. He's going to get a hard on.
Absolutely. He's never had a transsexual.
Oh my God.
Work with
it's
me.
Not as much. It's not so much
in this day and age. You ain't got to live and die without fulfilling your thing. Do your thing, baby.
No, it's just
pop one in your mouth. So what?
Oh my God.
Fun.
Does he say like homophobic stuff often? Or not even homophobic? Does he say like
I am all for. I love gay marriage. I fucking love it.
He loves
Get
it.
married.
Yeah. I understand your point.
But see, when they're totally equal, when you come out, it'll be late. You won't even be able to fuck then.
Yeah.
I understand.
You get a male hairdresser then when it's really free.
Like
you have a free society.
You haven't had your hair shampooed in years. You're out of this discussion.
Right.
But I'd rather have a woman giving me a nice like massage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I understand that instinct more.
It's not. It honestly isn't or it doesn't come down to being a sexual thing. It's just uncomfortable for me to have a guy touching me in kind of a manner that I feel.
If you're going to get a happy ending, then I believe it should be.
Okay, all right.
Right, but if you're not going to get a happy ending, massage even anything, it's fine by me. They can touch
I think it comes down to a little nurturing too. You like when a woman is kind of nurturing you a little bit.
It's just nice. And,
I'm all right with a guy shampooing my hair, but I'd
just a bit sexist.
I'd rather have a female.
Oh, and they have to be white.
You know, I like
with big boobs. Don't forget the big breasts too. That helps.
Well, yeah.
I like. Well, if I'm going to get my hair done, if you're talking about breasts now, I'm going to like a woman's breasts.
Well, of course.
If they're going to be bent over me,
right.
I'm going to want some boobs in my face.
I prefer a massage. If I get a guy to massage me and I really don't like to, I prefer it's back only. I only allow them to do my back.
You don't let them fondle your balls?
No, but if it's a woman, even if she won't fondle my balls, I'm always hoping that a finger will slip up. And if a guy does it,
you're hoping it won't.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if he's bigger than me and can force the issue. But then it kind of removes that fun element because they stay on the back.
Not fun at all.
No,
I just think there are certain things that you do kind of want a woman doing, and other things you would like
I said
man
just a happy ending, but a massage,
yeah,
I'm not afraid of a dude rubbing in my back. I don't care. You know, as long as he's a good masseuse, I get it. I get it.
But this is why I like Russell, though, because Anthony raised the point about firemen and cops, and you're like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either. Like, I like when somebody isn't so stuck on the argument that they argue irrationally. Yeah, no, I love the fact that you're like, that's a good point.
It's a good point. I mean, I don't know how to deal with that, but I do know that, in the office place where women are doing, smart women, I elevate them all the time. I have girls running companies, and I've taken from interns to presidents, many women, and I've seen them all go out into the industry and do well in various different industries. I had an intern, now she's the head of Fox Pictures. I had an intern, God knows, I have lots. Leo Cohen's and
where you get your interns?
And
our interns barely make it through the semester.
Wow.
Yeah. Kevin Lyles. Kevin Lyles was a street team member, but he's a guy. But when I watch people go out into the world, and women, a lot of women too. Julie Greenwald was an intern. Now she's the most powerful woman in the record business.
Jesus, that's amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, good. Yeah, no,
we got to take a break. This has been
Russell's
amazing.
fantastic.
Well, listen, I just want to give you a last pitch.
Man.
I want to say this.
Yeah,
the reason I wanted to come on here and talk about meditation or quiet time is because it is the greatest gift I can give. I mean, all the poetry and comedy and financials, all that shit's fine. But for a quiet mind, everybody's looking for it. They're doing everything they can possibly do. They're taking every drug. They're playing basketball. They're going running. They're doing all kinds of stuff just because it feeds the brain a second of stillness. And meditation is the greatest gateway to happiness and stillness. And the neuroscientists tell you it's true, and it's important, and it's simple. And it's been taught for thousands of years, and now there's so much research and so much reality in our face. I want to put it in schools. I want kids to meditate. And I want, I want to improve the world. The world meditated to be a nicer place.
Nice.
And it's not it's bigger than a pocketbook, but it's like a nice size book, and it's just called Success Through Stillness. And I'm actually going to read this because we talked about meditation, and I can't do it, but I'm going to try to do it.
Very simple.
I'm going to try
Anybody
to do
can meditate. Anybody can learn to meditate. It's really that simple. I'm thrilled it's success. I mean, 7 weeks in the bestseller chart, and Oprah's show has an ad. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Her show ads.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that it's getting out there, and it's affecting
She's nice,
people.
right, Oprah?
Oh, she's
She's asked me to come on her show several times.
She's the reason I'm an author.
Oh, really?
She's the reason. What'd you say?
I said she's asked me to come on her show several times, and I was like,
not.
Our old
You're too funny as fuck. Oh, she hasn't really?
No, of course not. I was hoping you'd drop my name to
pretty
her.
big, though. You guys are big.
We're doing all right.
Big following, yeah.
Our old boss now works for Oprah, Eric Logan. He's like basically.
Yeah, but he could work for you now too. Though.
No, it's
you fucking making a lot of money.
He knew when to jump ship.
Yeah, it's basically Oprah and then him, Eric Logan.
Oh, I see. No, he's
a big deal over there now.
Yeah, he brought me into her office when she wasn't there, and he's like, "This is where Oprah sits." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, come out." Just in case she showed up early.
I got to say something about her. All of our employees must love her because I see the way she treats them.
Yeah.
But I want to say this about her. She has done more to affect the collective consciousness regarding subjects like meditation or real spirituality, which is at the core of all these religious gangs. In the core, she has looked to promote consciousness in a way. With her celebrity, she has changed her lives and helped the lives of so many hundreds of thousands, millions of people. She is the queen of American consciousness. She's taken all those books. She sold 40 million copies of Eckhart Tolle's books. 40 million. And his book was about happiness. And selling happiness through spirituality is only one route to happiness.
Right.
It's a quiet mind and a spiritual mind. The other stuff is like short term. So the only happiness there is this, and Oprah's been very good at giving it to people, so that's special.
Nice. Russell Simmons.
Good luck with the book, man.
All right,
absolutely.
Thank you, Russell.
Thanks for having me on again.
All right. Russell Simmons was great.
Yeah,
he was a lot of fun.
I
man.
love Russell.
Absolutely.
He's a good guest.
And I really did love when he said, like, when Ant made a great point, he didn't like blindly defend his angle. He's like, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of, I don't know how to feel about. Like, I love that he did that.
Right.
That's the way.
Yeah.
Because that makes everything the guy says believable. Like, all right,
he has his beliefs. He puts his money where his mouth is, and he's a reasonable guy. He's not one of these unreasonable, just going to argue because it's
Is he
what
reasonable?
he's supposed to say. Oh, yeah? Is he reasonable?
Is he reasonable? This is Masood. Masood in Ontario. Masood, it looks like.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Love the show, man.
Thank you.
Just wanted to get your opinion and about what Russell was saying about the word faggot. You know, I've heard it dropped on the show a couple times, but you know, it's all in jest and just, you know, in good humor. But he seemed to think that there was no good context around it. But he seemed to be dropping bitch quite frequently, and just wondering what you think on that. Is there a good context?
Oh, it's funny you should say that, because as soon as the interview ended, he goes, am I in trouble? And then he goes, oh, man, I said bitch a lot, didn't I?
Yeah, he did.
Or something like that, he said.
Yeah, right.
But if you ask Russell about this, is why I like him, because if you said that to him, he would probably think about it and go and explain why he said it and go like, yeah, maybe that's not good either. Like, he would probably at least reasonably consider what you just said, even though I didn't.
Sure, and that's the thing, right? Like, so certain words, you know, what he was saying, and I think, you know, I think he was a little incorrect in saying that there's no good context around the word faggot. I kind of disagree, because really there's no good context around the word bitch, right? But I don't know.
Probably, if you look at it the same way, I would think you're right.
Or even though you can say my nigga, which he said, I mean, if you really got into it, is the comfortable, familiar tone of that, does that outweigh the negative, vicious connotation of that word? Is that probably not?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But whatever. I mean, you know.
And you said the word to him. I got scared.
It's crazy.
Why? It was a legit.
Jimmy's a madman.
That was a legitimate question.
Of course.
He said it, niggas in Paris, and I've literally never heard that. Is that I didn't know that was a song.
Yeah,
it's a
that one I know.
But I asked him at first, is that something? And he didn't answer, so I just said, is niggas in Paris a song? I didn't know why she would tweet that. Like, what is she, crazy?
Right.
But that wasn't, I didn't feel weird saying that. That's the fucking name of the tune.
No.
He basically said if it's coming from a good place, he's all right with stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a complicated issue.
Thought I'd call in, first time caller. Love the show.
I just hate the fucking word, the word police, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I just can't stand that whole thing. And I think any word you can say and have a context. And
like hullabaloo.
I think it's okay. Hullabaloo is a good one. And I don't think it's homophobic at all to want a woman to shampoo your hair.
No,
I think, I know. But I think I'm a lot of things, but boy, homophobic, I'm not. I really don't have any problem with gays doing whatever the fuck they want to do. I don't get uncomfortable when gay people are in the room, like Sam or Travis.
He fucking meant you, pecker sucker.
You think he was being genuine, though? You sit down and get your hair shampoo, and it's going to be a guy. You're telling me Russell doesn't think about it at all?
Exactly. It's a
I mean, is he okay with it? It seems like it, yes, but
I think he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Or is it just you're supposed to be okay with it? But do you genuinely feel better when it's a woman than a guy?
But you notice. I'm not going to jump out of the chair and go, fuck this, I'm out of here. But you notice. And
what am I, a faggy?
And, you know, and if it's a woman, you settle in a little better, I guess. I don't know.
Right. And if it's a very attractive woman, isn't that even better? Like, there's just a thing, and it's just a basic male thing.
I've had massages from men here and there, and you don't relax as much.
Do tell, Obster, do tell.
But you don't relax as much. It just is.
Sure.
It feels up the ass is for.
Absolutely, you feel that thick, solid, untapered finger.
You just feel. you just feel their man calluses and just.
I do not want a guy fucking massaging me.
I've had, and you don't relax as much. I don't know. You're on guard or something. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
What if it moves?
I mean, what if? What do you do when? When it starts jumping under the towel, when you're embarrassed and it's
hotel.
Let's go to Todd in Virginia. Todd, Toddy.
Hey, what's up? You guys suck.
Yes.
What?
What? Hey, I just want to.
No, I said what because I didn't hear you. So say it again. What?
I said what's up? You guys suck.
Why?
Oh.
Well, that's because, I don't know, I've been listening to you guys for a long time, man. I'm 26 years old. I'm listening to you guys now because I've been sober for 2 years. I got a couple shekels in the pocket. I can afford the XM radio.
Nice.
Okay.
But I was listening to you guys when I was in the 8th grade, about 13 years old when 9/11 happened, and you guys were always listening to. You guys shaped my whole fucking sense of humor growing up, and I just really appreciate having you guys back in my life right now. Listening to you guys having fucking laughing my ass off.
Oh, thank you. Like us. Okay, I thought you didn't like us for a second. Okay.
It's the old school. You guys suck. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's what I used to say. And Jimmy, I went and saw you a few years back do your HBO special on Englewood. It was fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
Shit, hilarious.
And I just want to shower you guys with compliments. You guys are fucking awesome. I wish everybody was like you guys. And man, I'm sure as hell glad I get to listen to you guys again because I used to come home from fucking school and you guys would fuck me up at a young age listening to you. But it was the fucking best. So thank you for what you guys are doing, man. You guys rule.
Thanks a lot, man.
Oh.
Let me say hi to Nick in Niagara Falls. Nick.
What's going on, guys?
Hello, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Niagara Falls?
Plead my case to try and get you to block me from Twitter.
I have never blocked a person on Twitter, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's just my thing.
Wait, who blocked you? Who blocked you?
Me, I guess.
Oh, the Obster?
What'd you say?
What's your Twitter name?
They never do anything bad.
I'm Craig Schinkel.
Oh, okay. I didn't block you.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What'd you say?
Just Opie.
What'd you say?
You got me on a bad day there, Opie.
What'd you say, though?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't believe that. What did you say, sir?
Oh, it was when Lady Di was in and you were talking about her credit and her liens and whatnot. And I thought it was a little uncalled for. So
he was the guy.
Was equally uncalled for.
You're very good, though.
I don't even know how to find you on Twitter. How do you spell your name?
It's IMCREGGSHINKEL.
Schickle. I'm Craig Schickle.
That's correct.
Schickle about it.
Don't shinkle about it. Who the hell is that?
SHE.
SHINKEL. Schickle. Craig Schickle.
Up, Craig Schinkle.
I'm Craig
SHEI.
No,
it's I
just forget it.
I'll do it. I am the two letters. I am Craig CREGG. Schickle. SCHINKEL. Schickle.
SCH what?
I'll show it to you.
Oh my god! All right, I'll just unblock you. Fuck it.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna unblock everyone today.
Oops.
Oh, wow.
Because I just feel after that Russell Simmons interview that it's just the right thing to do. No results found. I'll figure it out. Thanks, Nick.
Love you.
See you, Craig.
Let's go to Kevin in Houston.
I appreciate it.
Kevin.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Oh, shut up.
Don't yell at Kevin that way.
Is it CREGG?
Yes, that's how I spell my name.
And then SCH what?
INKEL.
KEL. Yeah, I don't have.
Shit.
No, it's I am Craig Schenkel. The letters I am first.
IAM, right?
No, I am. Just two letters. I am.
Oh, all right. This guy's going to get a lot of followers today. My God.
I Schenkel about it.
I don't know. Okay. All right. Anyway, what do you got, Kevin?
Yeah, hi, Kev.
I was just curious as to why our friends from the North have decided to put on their Facebook page that we were instructed by Opie and Anthony to attack their Facebook page and call their radio show when I don't remember that ever being said on the radio.
God, because all these guys just lie through their teeth.
Of course they do, right through.
We got a very rabid fan base, and they did it on their own.
I thought it was their fans giving them a head and putting our pictures up there to make us look bad. Am I right or wrong, Sam? Just chipping you.
Wrong. Right.
Gotcha.
So.
Leave me alone.
Oh, your character's annoying today.
I know. I'm sorry. They are. I'm just tired. I haven't shaved my head in a while.
Oh, yes.
Wait, the people have been bashing my hairdo. I've heard you.
Really? Why?
I don't know. The lesbian. And my favorite is Jamie Lee Curtis in the shit yogurt commercials. You're right. You've been heard.
Oh, my God. Was that the worst one?
That's very funny, yeah.
That's kind of funny, man.
Slams. You can slam me all day. I don't mind it. I know
That's
it's awful.
a good one.
Believe me, I know it.
He's doing it for something.
Yes, of course.
Or at least we're all hoping.
Yeah. What do you think, I'm in a midlife crisis? What do you think? I want to be George Papard? Fucking night.
Was there another one that was up there?
Yes, I couldn't think of his name. The Dracula, George Hamilton.
No, another comment that was either hurtful or...
Oh, none of them were hurtful. Did
any of them almost get to you?
No. Not about my physical stuff. You look like a cunt or a faggot, or your hair is... I made my living doing that. Sometimes I'll get a good line out of it and keep it.
Exactly.
I said that on stage last night. I was just quoting what people have called me.
Yeah.
And I said the lesbian thing, and when I said the Jamie Lee yogurt and the shit commercial, people fucking clapped.
See, that's funny.
Then I talked about Jamie Lee Curtis and her big clit, and it got a big silence.
Oh, really? Didn't go too well?
No.
I do.
What are you doing, Sammy?
I enjoy her
Leave me
shit.
alone.
Her shit yogurt commercials.
Shit yogurt.
Where you look at her and she just finally gave up on looking like a woman anymore. Yeah. What's the matter? What are you doing? You feeling your rod?
I don't have a rod.
Oh, good.
Let's do this right now.
Oh, God.
I'm trying. I got some blubber. Well, you want to poke my stomach?
That's Could you at least cut your hair like that before you shave it?
Fantastic.
I don't know if you can. Let me
You have
see.
to do a few iterations.
I want to grease my hair back.
He's got it like that, please. And then just have yogurt.
Well, we have to bring in some. Can you bring in some hair gel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably work that
Let's do
out.
some
And you
hair
got to get our
gel
yogurt.
Tomorrow.
And just redo that exact shot.
Yeah, you should have a smart blazer on.
Oh, yeah. Man clothes. This woman gave up. Her tits in fucking Trading Places were stunning.
They were not hers, by the way. That was a body double.
No
way.
Saw it. It was.
Okay.
Because her head was
Wait,
on
what's
it,
the truth
too.
there?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
She was because
you
it was
scared
a
me for a
full
second.
frontal. Her face,
No, I
her-
know.
her body, and everything. She had amazing tits. She had a great body.
They were
And
heavy,
then,
remember? They were heavy, but not
wavy,
saggy.
Natural.
Heavy, not... Oh, hold on a minute.
Oh, what?
Heavy, not saggy.
Heavy, not saggy.
T-shirt.
Oh, I know, but it doesn't.
No? I'll sit with it for a little while.
It sounds like a food thing. It's heavy, not saggy.
People
like a
want
slogan.
Oh, my friend has a good slogan he wanted me to give you. I don't know if you'll like it.
What?
Always remember to think about it.
Holy fuck. Wow.
Let's go to Sal. Jesus.
That is so annoying to
It's
me.
really
I know.
It's really
I chilled that time. I got like a...
Let me tell you how sad it is. We're going to the phones, and this guy has nothing. Sal, go ahead. Sal.
It's calling from inside the room.
Oh, that one. The bearded Sal.
Yes.
Hey, Sal.
Who's good on the computer, by the way.
Oh.
So I called in a couple weeks ago. I was the open.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Gives a
So I
shit.
decided-
Yeah, more about you, Mr. Big Shot. Go ahead, Mr. Big Shot.
He called last week with what, though? Do we even remember?
Who cares, though?
In his world, it's everything.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Guys, we're just teasing.
Sorry,
1,000
Sal. We
phone
love you.
calls.
Yeah,
since
Sally.
We love you, miss you. You know the deal.
Yeah, go
Let's
ahead.
go. I just need a good fucking... I need something to bring the love you, miss you thing together for the
that's
T-shirt.
a
I'm
good
thinking a heart with a sad face.
then. Love you, miss you.
But then a heart, then the guys aren't going to wear the heart shirts.
No, that's true.
Oh, wait.
I got
love you.
graphic design artists that want in on this
Working
shit.
24 hours?
Well, send me your fucking logos for some wacky T-shirt ideas from the Opster, and then I'll pay handsomely for a good design.
Learning the T-shirt business.
Go to OP Radio Fans on Facebook, probably the easiest way to get your designs. They're asking, so there you go. Go ahead, Sal.
So I listened into them for about 10 minutes, and I only heard one funny joke. So I decided to call in and give my opinion about the show, and I wasn't going to bash them or anything. I get on the show, and I'm like, you know, maybe you guys shouldn't be making claims about a radio show that you listened to once. I've listened to you guys once, and I'm not going to make any extraneous claims, but I'm going to say maybe you're not as funny. And I couldn't even give my opinion without them calling me a goober. What the fuck is a goober?
Oh, wow, a goober.
What was the other thing they said? I already forgot.
Raisinette?
The silly...
Oh.
Fucking Paul Bunyan and the Blue Ox hung up on me.
That's funny.
Those fuck.
What was the one thing? Snippy Snappy.
Snippy Snappy.
That's a good one.
Snippy Snappy and Goober.
Yeah.
We can't compete with
Your
that
button's undone on your pants.
Oh,
Why did you notice that?
I've been seeing it for an hour.
What?
I don't button my
Hit on
pants.
their Facebook page.
Right.
The shit on their Facebook page is the funniest fucking stuff I've ever seen.
It's still up, though.
Oh, my God.
For them. I respect the fact they didn't take it down.
Well, they
All right, thank you, sir.
Person for that.
Humble and Fred.
Lady Trucker.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello, sir.
Hey, hey, Jimmy. I just wanted you to know that the silver streaks in your hair are adorable.
Thank you.
God, you got a compliment from a monster. How does that feel? You're a monster. You know that, right?
Wow.
She's a delightful fan.
She's a deer.
I always mean to Lady Trucker.
Moose.
Yeah, she's nice.
Because she's a monster.
I want to actually gel it back.
Large Marge!
Yeah.
I bet you that was. Sometimes I do it in the shower. I'll shampoo it and gel it back, and then I literally look myself in the mirror and go, "What the fuck?" And I do Chip alone in the shower.
That's good. You got to gel it back, definitely.
Yeah.
You need some hair product in that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why don't we go home?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Matthew in Chicago. We're going home, but what do you got?
Matthew.
Hey.
Morning, boys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, man. I'm just calling real quick on behalf of all the callers who shouldn't be fucking callers. We are wastoids. Can we just have a fucking show without the callers? Jimmy, I love you, baby. Frankes.
Thank you, and I love you.
See, but then we would have missed that wonderful call if we didn't take callers anymore based on your statement. It's kind of a paradox.
I photobombed the Russell Simmons. Hold on a minute.
What?
Wait, did someone just send it? Hold on.
Bullshit.
I just photobombed a Russell Simmons photo with some broad that is, I guess, really important.
Who?
Let's see.
Hey, Kevin Spacey was up here?
Yeah, yesterday.
Really?
What
How
was
was
he
he?
Bob Edwards.
Bob
What
Edwards.
time did he come up?
It was probably like 11:30.
What was he plugging?
I don't know. House of Cards, maybe, but he wasn't.
I don't know. House of Cards.
Bob Edwards. You know, he was plugging. Whatever it wasn't on his show.
No, it certainly wasn't.
Why wouldn't he do our show?
I've been a champion of his.
Maybe he doesn't want to ask certain questions.
Champion. I've been a champion of his.
Certain questions.
Oh, just answer the question.
What?
No, I don't know. There's certain
I'm not going to ask anything about that.
There's certain things he's probably afraid will be brought up.
What? Like what?
I have no idea.
Why is
You're being very
anybody...
vague, Jimmy. Like what?
I honestly don't know. I'm just saying that maybe there's things that he worries about.
Why is that? That's not even a question. Shit. There are certain pantomimes.
I'm getting this sharp pain in my head. Is that bad?
What?
I keep worrying about a stroke. I keep getting this sharp pain in my brain.
No,
It's supposed to be a headache, right?
It's just your head. It's probably eye strain.
Oh, wait.
Maybe it's Edgar.
Left side?
Yeah. And in the
You
middle,
cut down your coffee, right?
a little bit.
Might be that.
Maybe.
Headaches are brutal when you're trying to get off caffeine. Roland?
Hello, Roland.
Kevin Spacey info.
He was promoting his Tribeca indie film.
So why didn't he come on this show? We didn't promote it.
He only did Bob Edwards. That's it.
Bob Edwards. So he wanted to talk to 12 people. Who the
Yeah.
fuck listens to Bob Edwards at
He
this
probably
point?
does. He's probably a Bob Edwards fan.
Yeah, but he also liked Otto.
Yeah.
And we like Otto.
It could have been.
So that could have been
an
a
interview.
thing.
In House of Cards, I fucking talking the shit out of that.
I know.
And he did his ventriloquist short film, which I finally saw. I don't know. Did you see that thing?
Yeah.
What did you think?
What was it about?
I don't know. I don't know what it,
I don't know what it was
What was it about?
You know what it is? He probably likes a show like Bob Edwards because Bob Edwards will just not talk about like anything he doesn't want to talk about.
All right, you got
That's fucking great.
Sometimes we got to do radio for ourselves. I
very
apologize.
visual. Oh my god.
Did you like the ventriloquist movie?
I didn't really get it.
I didn't get it either. Thank
The way
God
it
it wasn't
ended,
just
I was
me.
just like, oh, what?
Well, there's one guy talking, and the other guy's not real.
Oh, see, I thought.
Was it that his life would be better without the dummy, and he finally realized that? It was a security blanket. It was holding him back. I don't know.
I have no idea.
It was filmed nicely.
Yes, it looked good. It started off good, and then it just.
Oh, I'm so glad I thought it was
turned
me.
into something I didn't get.
I thought someone.
I don't get things.
And Russell took a picture with Debbie Allen. That's the person.
Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
The from the dancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Miss Debbie Allen?
We were just talking about that.
What do you mean?
As right before you asked.
Yeah, who is she?
Which one's Karen Allen?
Karen Allen's white.
Karen Allen's the one from Indiana Jones. Nice. Damn, did you photobomb that? You ass.
That was Debbie Allen out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I photobombed. They had no idea. Look at my fucking face.
That's a good one. Wow, you fucking nailed it. You fucking ruined their picture.
If you go
And
to,
she posted it?
If you go to Miss Debbie Allen, she writes, "Look who I ran into this morning." And then in the background, you see my fucking...
That's hilarious.
Which one was the one from RoboCop? Which Allen?
Probably Nancy. Was she white?
Nancy Allen.
She was in Blowout, I think, with John
Yes.
Travolta.
And she was a hot one. And then Karen Allen was the one from Indiana Jones, from the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Debbie Allen
Yes.
was in the movie Fame.
Debbie Allen was in Fame.
You
And
ever see
that's the one
Fame when
Russell was in.
Leroy's dancing and one of the girls says, "What do you call that?" And she goes, "Wicked." Oh, you don't remember her?
Yeah. I remember her.
That's the woman she was.
Yeah, that I remember.
I just write, sorry.
Okay. I always get the Allens confused.
I just wrote sorry for the photobomb.
Yeah. Which one is Wrench?
Yeah.
Caroline's tomorrow through Sunday. Jokes like that will be a flying.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, no.
Wait, you start up tomorrow already?
Yeah.
Week is cooking. We missed Monday.
Wow, I want to go to a lot of the shows. What's the one show tomorrow?
One tomorrow, one Sunday.
What time?
I'm guessing 8.
Yeah, I could do 8. Especially with these new hours. I'm able to stay out a little longer. It's nice. Hi, Debbie.
Is it 7:30 tomorrow? Oh,
7:30 show
my
tomorrow.
God. Everyone will be a half hour late. My apologies.
I'm going to try to go to the 7:30 show tomorrow. I haven't seen you in a while, Jimmy. It'll be great.
Oh, 7:30 and 10 Friday, Saturday. Oh, even better. Yeah, man, please come. I would love you guys to come.
Okay.
And this funny thing, I'm doing Caroline's. I go right up and I go, "Hey, imagine if this place was called Sweet Caroline's. We'd all be singing." So my arms out.
Your arms are out.
I'm fucking
in a hat gesture.
All right, guys.
What?
My giant camel toe video is doing very, very well.
Yeah, that was funny.
I talked about it on the pre-show, and I sent it to Jimmy because I know he likes big, giant camel toes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'll retweet it on my Twitter, OP Radio, if you haven't seen it yet. But it's doing very well. The Stupid News just filmed this lady's camel toe because she didn't want her face on the news, and it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. So I'll retweet that now. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
The Opie and Anthony Show is dropping. Call 866-WOW-1-WOW now. And look back on another legendary day of broadcasting. This is the Opie and Anthony Post Show with Sam Roberts.
Let's look back together, shall we? Welcome to the Post Show. 866-WOW-1-WOW. 866-969-1969 is the phone number if you want to call. I am Sam Roberts, here to reflect with you on what was another great day of radio. Russell Simmons was terrific. Really got our asses kicked by Humble and Fred from Canada. Is Humble a name in Canada? Like, are people named Humble? I would love to know. And I was really getting into the old school ant stories, the ant as a tin knocker stories. It was real stories of rags to riches, that guy, huh? 866-WOW-1-WOW. 866-969-1969 if you'd like to be a part of today's Opie and Anthony Post Show. Let's get rolling in here today. It's been too long. I know he's afraid of Redditors, but let's get rolling on the show today. But before we do that, yeah, go find Roland and tell him to come in. I just want to talk to him. I want to talk to Roland about meditating because Russell Simmons inspired me. I'm sure I'm not going to do it. That's just what happens when we have guests in. It's just whatever they say. If they sound convincing, you just go home thinking you're going to do it. But I want to talk to Roland about that. So hopefully we'll hear from him in a little bit. But first, let's find out what today's line of the day was.
Here comes line of the day, line of the day.
You know, I woke up one day at a time.
Good morning, everybody. How's things since the last time we talked?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
A little bit today, yeah. We'll tuck it out.
We just talked on the pre-show, so now this is stupid, right?
I know. Like we're just coming on.
Right.
Hey!
We already did 10 minutes. Wah, 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 wah. Don Rickles was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Jimmy Kimmel's really doing that. The host has to sit higher than the guest thing.
Oh, yeah?
All late-night talk show hosts do that, but Kimmel's really taking advantage of it.
Yes.
And he sits way higher than the guest.
He's 87.
Rickles is 87?
Oh.
Puts you in the power position.
Oh, always, yeah.
There was a brilliant bit with Andy Kaufman back in the day where he kind of...
He took it to the, as they say, umpteenth level.
Yeah, his chair was, 10 feet off the ground?
Yeah, it was a giant chair. It looked like a judge.
And he was looking straight down at his guest, who had to look way up.
Yeah.
To talk to Andy Kaufman as a talk show host on this, I don't know, comedy special he did or whatever. Loved Andy Kaufman. God, I love that guy.
He really liked uncomfortability.
That's why I love him, Jimmy.
Yeah, he really thrived in that.
That spoke to me when I was growing up.
Making people uncomfy.
Yes, I love it.
Uncomfy.
He did it on comedy clubs too. He didn't do it in special rooms.
Right.
He did it in just regular old comedy clubs.
Where people would just get pissed.
Yeah.
He would read The Great Gatsby, and people would go, "Oh, that's funny. He's just reading The Great Gatsby."
It's funny for fucking a couple of minutes, maybe.
But that's the brilliance of Andy Kaufman. He's like, "Oh yeah, you think this is funny that I did this?" He wouldn't stop until the last person left the comedy club. I'm sure somebody sat all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he cleared out the room by just reading The Great Gatsby.
Yes.
Instead of doing his stand-up. And then on Ellen, we said this was going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
You weren't here. It was Friday. It was Rich Voss was in, and there's this stewardess on Southwest, and she decided to, have fun with the announcements. And she was basically doing a stand-up routine.
Right.
And, Jimmy loved it. I loved it. And Rich Voss hated it and couldn't understand why we would love it so much. But I did say that she would be on Ellen.
And there she is.
And guys like, Rich Voss, he can't get on Ellen. And he's way funnier. He's way funnier than this broad.
Yeah.
But I did say that it seems like she's trying to, be a stand-up on the side or something. Cause
not just some flight attendant. She's got some prepared material.
Yeah, it was. Did you see this? Just part of it? We don't have to play the whole thing again.
You can pretend to have your attention for just a few moments. My ex-husband, my new boyfriend, and their divorce attorney are going to show you the safety features of Boeing 737-800 series. It's been a long day for me. To properly fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat end of the buckle. To release, lift up on the buckle. Position your seatbelt tight and lower across your hips like my grandmother wears her support bra. If you get mad, you want to take your toys out home, there's 8 ways to get there. 2 forward exit doors, short wing window exits, 2 rear exit doors, signs overhead, disco lights, and the floor lead each exit. Everybody gets a door prize in the seat back pocket in front of you, along with 30 diapers, chewing gum wrappers, banana peels, and all other gifts you leave for us from time to time. It's a safety information card. Take it out, check it out. You'll notice in the highly unlikely event that the captain lands near a hot tub, everybody gets
nice implants, right? You're looking at that.
I wrote my prediction down.
You did.
Strap around your waist, buckle it in front, pull the tighten. Once outside, pull down on the red tab, inflate to manually inflate below the tube at your shoulder. The flight attendants are coming by, hoping that you'll tell them how good looking they are. They're going to make sure that your seat backs and trays everywhere in their full, upright, and absolute most comfortable position possible. And your carry-on items are crammed and shoved completely under the seat in front of you, leaving absolutely no room for your knees or feet. As you know, it's a no smoking, no whining, no complaining flight. It's a please and thank you, and you are such a good looking flight attendant flight. Smoking is never allowed on board Southwest because smoking in the lavatory, the fact for that's $2,000, and if you want to pay that for your airfare, you should have loaned somebody else. If we do make you that nervous in the next hour and a half, you're more than welcome to step outside. We don't discriminate at Southwest. We have a special smoking section just for you. We'll even show you a movie tonight. We have Up in the Air. As a flight attendant serving, your name is Wendy, and her motto is, if you can light it, you can smoke it. Having a long group is tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector or webcam in either of our laboratories. Federal aviation regulation for our passenger compliance with the light of passenger information signs and posted flaggers. Basically,
there you
just
go.
what we say and nobody gets hurt. And although we never
She's killing.
She's killing.
Now, I don't know if I was wrong. This was my prediction.
What?
I wrote Anthony will hate her.
Of course.
You know what? I don't.
I sort of said the same thing on Friday. I mean, I don't.
You hate her. I know. I
yeah.
could tell. I could tell.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't understand why they're laughing so hard at her. I mean, she's well prepared. She's done that a million times.
It's obvious why.
Why?
People are nervous flying a fucking plane. Anything that takes you out of that standard issue fucking flight makes you feel good. You feel like if she's doing that, you're not going to crash. Right. For some fucking reason, you're like, no, this plane won't crash. We got a funny fucking flight attendant.
It's a great angle. JetBlue likes to have a little fun, too.
They needed the money.
The pilot will like have some
important place to make a difference because people are fearful of flying and people are going for different reasons that may be sad to them. And you start out getting their attention by saying, can I pretend to have your attention for a minute? Because no one is paying attention. We should be paying attention because what you're saying is very important
pay
stuff.
attention.
And
you know
working
everything already.
your ass off up there. I mean, you know, I always think that is a
We're crashing stream. That's the end of the announcement.
Serving people and taking care of people and people are rude. And so
Just shake your little ass and get me a beverage.
Exactly.
That's right.
Touch, little nipple tweak.
She's having a serious talk with. You can keep playing it, Sal. We're not going to miss anything. Yeah. We'll just battle over it.
She loves Ellen though. They're great legs.
Yeah. She looks real nice, all cleaned up.
Children,
This stewardess.
You have 2 daughters and a son, and your daughters are here.
Yeah.
Your
Whoa!
Whoa!
I apologize for anything negative I said about this delightful woman.
Good one, Sal, you fucking
Way to go.
There you go, Sal.
Jesus, Sal, you pause it after they get back to...
We're pausing on her daughters.
That one on the right is fucking smoking.
See, I like the one on the left.
No.
I like them both. I like the one on the left.
The one on the right is so much hotter than the one on the left.
I agree.
But they're both completely doable.
I think there might be 2 fathers involved.
Right?
Because they're...
Wow, that
the one on the
is
right
fucking
has
hot.
full lips.
Yeah, the one on the left is
She's 14 years old.
No, they might be young. That's right.
I don't know how old they
No,
are.
that fucking old bat is fucking... Got to be above, like, what, 45?
25?
She's, thank you. What the hell is...
what is that?
This is interesting.
What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. Tums?
Huh?
You need Tums. Ant needs Tums today.
What's the matter?
A little. I don't know. I was driving in, and now it's not bothering me. When I was driving in, I was kind of a little. I had some
burpee.
I had some Vincent's. Some Vincent's.
Can't pause on this
some
show.
Some Vincent's Italian last night.
Oh, really?
It's, yeah. I'm still tasting that shit.
Nice.
You get reflux? I get bad reflux.
A little bit if
Not anymore.
If I have a lot of a spicy sauce or something.
Not anymore. I haven't had acid reflux in a year and a half at least.
How'd you order it?
I think it was the coffee. I don't know. I think I was drinking way too much coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you?
And I don't stress as much. I just said fuck it to stress. That's what I say.
Yeah?
Fuck it to stress.
Fuck it to stress. Oh, another
You say
t-shirt.
fuck it to
Jesus
stress.
Christ.
Oh, thank you. Let me write that down. No. We're trying to build a t-shirt factory because we can't.
Fuck it to stress.
We can't keep up with the orders. My guy fucking panicked on me, and I think he ran away. I got to find somebody else.
And took off.
He panicked. He couldn't fill the orders.
Oh, wow.
We sold way too many of those dumb shirts. I had no business selling as many as I did. So, no, I like this guy. Kelly. He's cool. We're just trying to figure it out.
My guy had no problem keeping up with the orders.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of time around.
You didn't have a
the house.
catchphrase.
It's all about using your own handwriting. I realized. Are we going back to that thing?
All right.
All right. So that's our hot daughters.
Man. Wow. Ellen's fucking
You
drooling.
understand how cool your mom is? She's a YouTube star.
Yeah. I mean, we've known how cool she is for a while, but I'm so happy that others get to see it now. She's so positive and so deserving of this. And I'm so happy that we're here. We all love you so much. And I don't get to tell her enough, so I'm glad we can bring her out here and show her to the world how awesome she is.
Yeah, you
I want to know why the daughters look so different.
Yeah.
She's hot for an older woman, though.
But was she having some fun in some of these cities?
Maybe.
You travel a lot, and you can help
Look
promote
at us
the
trying
show
to
in a
knock her
better way.
down.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
really
Nice
convinced
lady.
that-
It's just a nice
that when you
piece, right?
travel, boxers.
Well, someone's bringing her, ran up and brought her a piece of luggage.
Why would she love luggage?
I was just watch Ellen on it with Ellen's dumb picture.
It's terrible.
Well, Ellen is going
what's
for that.
inside.
Okay.
Oh, it's a joke.
Of course, Ellen
In it.
isn't that
Gosh. First of all, you have Beats headphones.
bad. Oh, Beats headphones, nice.
Vaginal and anal beads.
Ellen underwear.
You have Ellen socks.
Ellen socks.
You have Ellen, my book, my CD.
Wow.
Ellen Dildo.
Thank God.
Oh my God. Boss's act coming out of this.
So you can just, and a pillow. And and a blanket.
Oh my gosh!
And then
this is awesome.
You have a $1,000 Visa gift card.
Whoa!
Don't cry over $1,000.
It's a lot of money for a peasant.
J.C. Penney. $3,000 Target. $4,000. Oh, Radio Shack. Hell, you're going to buy in Radio Shack for $4,000.
The entire chain.
A lot of shitty batteries.
I couldn't think of companies.
Oh, now the daughters are on the...
God damn. Let's see her legs.
I don't think this is working. I'll be honest.
What's the matter?
I don't think it's working.
The segment?
I just realized how
For
much
us
our
or
listeners
Ellen?
must hate our guts for this,
Yes.
and you're not wrong.
I don't think it's working.
No. We're watching Ellen.
This was a throwaway story. I don't think this is working.
Christ,
I literally
it's true.
forgot we were on the air. We're watching Ellen.
I did too. I just wanted to see the daughters now that they're up on the
I think
stage.
we got distracted by the daughters. I think we were
did.
we were ready to tap out, and then the one daughter was pretty smoking.
Yep, you're
We're
right.
watching Ellen on the radio.
Yeah, that's
awful.
bad.
Oh,
You're talking about how cool your mom is, and you have a brother, but he couldn't be here because he's studying and he didn't want to fail. It's a very important exam. So that's more.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're right. It kind of makes you.
Malaysian Airlines is hilarious, too. Those pilots are a hoot.
Yeah, remember that joke that he told? I hope you kiss your loved one goodbye.
We're going to fly, 8 hours into nothingness.
Yeah.
Until we run out of fuel.
Oh, wait, we are?
Yeah, he's playing Into the Wild soundtrack. Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
Yeah, people are very nervous, so they'll laugh at anything.
If the pilots make just a slight little joke, or a little something,
Everything's got to be okay.
You breathe a little easier, I think. But
isn't that good when you hear that boom? Ladies and gentlemen, you're like, right. If he's got time to chat with us, nothing's on fire in the cockpit.
I think if the pilots talk just a little more, I think so many more people would
just be cool. Yeah,
would have an okay,
absolutely
time with flying.
Yeah.
But the point here, to stick up for our stand-up friends, that's what frustrated Rich, and even though Jimmy was fucking with Rich, Jimmy as well, she's making it look like anyone could do their craft.
I don't know
do
why
it well.
it was fun to watch Voss get so offended and annoyed, but I really don't like good-natured stuff. That's what annoys me. Is
that was
good-natured. I don't know why it bugs me. It stinks. Like, I don't like little fun jokes that everyone on the plane likes.
You didn't like the low around the hips, like Grandma's
no.
bra?
I guess because in those moments, I think of how many
saggy tits
brutal things you could say.
Yeah.
There's so many really mean, awful. Like, I just hate the thing that makes everyone feel okay.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
No, I'm like, you ought to just really fucking
it was
belly
making
punch
everyone
them.
feel okay. You should heckle her, though. You're like, Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Jesus.
Just ruin her act.
You want to hear a little more of her?
That gets you in trouble.
Yes, it would get you in trouble.
You want to hear a little more?
Oh.
Boy, this woman's bombing! Oh, no, you're in trouble.
Would you imagine just yelling, "You suck!"
Right.
Boo!
They would hate you. People would look at you like, oh, she's up there doing a good job, and you're being a fuddy-duddy.
But she delivered it flawlessly. I had to say that.
Because she's done this a million times. She has 3 to 4 good, good minutes of material that she knows goes over well.
Southwest, huh? She had nice tits.
Yes, she did.
Big implants.
Yeah.
You could see the old lady elbows, though.
Yeah, I noticed that, too.
They got to figure that out for the old ladies that have the big, giant, brand new breasts. Yeah.
Oh,
the neck they're figuring out a little bit, but you can't hide those elephant elbows.
Popeye elbows.
Why don't you hear a little more, because you're enjoying it so much.
Loss of cabin pressure, if we did, we certainly wouldn't be at work tonight. But if needed, for oxygen mask we don't think compartment overhead. Stop screaming, let go of your neighbor, pull under that plastic tubing is fully extended, place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. To activate the flow of oxygen, simply insert 75 cents for the first minute and 50 cents for each minute. Although that plastic bag may not inflate, you are receiving lots and lots of gin. Oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry. If you're traveling with more than one child, pick out the one that you think might have the most earning potential down the road. And if you're traveling with somebody needing very special assistance, like your husband, bless his heart, or your wife, put on your mask first. That's it for the do's and don'ts of show and tell. Sit back and relax, or you can sit up and be tense. Either way, so never have to game the clock's already ticking. Seriously, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your flat more enjoyable, please tell us. Just as soon as we land in Salt Lake City. And if there's anything you can do to make our flat more enjoyable, we'll tell you immediately. We're not shy in Southwest. That's what we call very cheap entertainment. Nobody had to pay extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. That's Lake City in Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Holy shit. They're fucking, it's a flying comedy club.
I would jump up and say something.
Would you, Chip? What would you say?
I don't know, whatever.
Of course you don't know whatever.
Thanks for that. But she made it to Ellen yesterday, is the point.
Oh, that's
why
good.
would we replay that?
I wish Voss was here. He'd be so unhappy.
Because I said this would happen. This was perfect for Ellen or Jimmy Kimmel. Not Jimmy Kimmel, probably Jimmy Fallon.
She's going to take off, I bet. Oh, see what I did there? A little good-natured.
A star is born. She's not going to be a stewardess for too much longer.
Oh, man.
Let's see what Ellen said about this. I didn't see this clip yet.
10 million people viewed our first guest video. Take a look at a little bit of this.
Oh, God.
We pretend to have your attention for
No,
just
we don't need to hear it again.
Seriously, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your...
How long have you been a flight attendant number one?
About 7.5 years, and I just have to tell you how happy I am to be
She's
here
touching
and
Ellen's
how
hand.
much I love you and respect and admire you.
Ah,
and
yeah.
I just
She's got a tissue in her hand.
She has great legs.
I can watch your show, and in an hour you can make me laugh and cry, and I just adore you. I just think you're wonderful.
Thank you very much. That's
Obviously.
obviously you had an impact on me as well, because I thought that was not only because people try to be funny on flights, but that was really funny. That whole thing.
Jim,
if you go online, it's like
Gassers.
3
It's
minutes
funny.
of
It's a
fucking
very
riot.
funny stuff. And how long have you been
I'm a
doing it
panic.
that way?
You know, we did learn it a certain way. I was trained a certain way, and I just, at some point in time, just kind of put my own spin on it.
You
And it's just
rebel.
so much more fun to make people laugh and let them relax. You know how stressful flying can be, and so it's just made it more fun. And it just, in my little tube in the sky, I can make a difference in some people's lives.
Make
And it
a
does.
difference.
That's an important.
Reading.
Right. Jersey loves their casinos.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's an argument to be made that that's detrimental to people's lives, but he ignores that, of course, right?
Yeah, but the weed.
But the weed is the problem?
That's a problem.
What's the clip? Can we see that really fast?
I wanted to talk to you about legalizing marijuana. I've heard you speak on it before. There's pros and cons with everything. But I just feel legalizing marijuana,
what's her name?
it's something
Lydia,
that's
yes.
going to happen down the pipeline. It creates industry. It creates jobs. It creates money, revenue. Look at California. Look at Colorado. What they've done. How much money they
hey,
have.
Sue, let me just stop you right there. You say it's going to come down the road. You know when it may come down the road? When I'm gone. It's not going to come while I'm here. There's a new study out in the Journal of Neuroscience. It just came out this past week. That says that even casual marijuana smokers showed significant abnormalities in two vital brain regions important in motivation and emotion. Some of these people only used marijuana to get high once or twice a week. The co-author was quoted in the Northwestern University Science Newsline. They hailed the study as the first to analyze the effects of light marijuana use. People think a little recreational use shouldn't cause a problem if someone's doing okay with work or school. Our data directly says this is not the case. The study raises a strong challenge to the idea that casual marijuana use isn't associated with bad consequences. I am not going to be the governor who is going to tell our children and our young adults that marijuana use is okay, because it's not. And it's now being medically proven by the Journal of Neurosciences that it's not even in casual, occasional use. So I don't care about the tax money that may come from it, and I don't care, quite frankly, that people think it's inevitable. It's not inevitable here. I'm not going to permit it. Never, as long as I'm governor. You want to elect somebody else who's willing to legalize marijuana and expose our children to that gateway drug and the effects it has on their brain? You'll have to live with yourself if you do that, but it's not going to be this governor.
All right, then take on alcohol. Everything you said about marijuana,
eating,
right? Recreational alcohol use certainly causes some issues and
everything
problems,
from medical problems to car accidents.
Many car accidents.
Yeah,
I think at this point, pretty much all of us know somebody that died from drinking and driving.
And I don't care about the tax money. Well, we do. We're the ones paying the tax.
Yeah,
right.
We care a lot about where the tax money's coming from.
Shouldn't he do what his he's a representative?
Constituency.
Yeah. It's not what you want. It's what the people that elected you want.
Oh, what a pompous fuck he is.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny.
Marijuana was the catalyst to a cop getting shot in New Jersey yesterday.
Oh, yeah? How did that figure?
In Garfield.
It was a buy and bust.
A buy and bust for weed?
Yeah.
I don't think the pot had anything to do with the savage animal that decides he's going to shoot at fucking police officers.
Drugs are the root of most of the crime.
Well, they are. If that was legal, though, they wouldn't have been a buy and bust with.
Well, that's true.
Well, you could control it a little
pot,
better.
it wouldn't have been.
If it's legal.
You know, and
that's true. Hey, believe me, I don't think the majority of pot users are shooting at cops.
Yeah, I don't associate that one with violence.
No.
Booze, I would take booze off the market before pot.
Yeah. Yeah, but booze is way worse.
Exactly.
He's not going to acknowledge that, though. Why would he? There's too much money that is brought in with booze. Let's say hi to Remy in Missouri. Remy.
Yeah, the study that Christie was talking about showed that there was abnormalities in certain parts of the brain, but the study never concluded whether or not those abnormalities were disadvantageous. I don't know.
See, Chris Christie's probably just getting, like, he seems like he's being at least genuine. He's just getting data handed to him, like they all do. Yeah. And someone is telling him, look, you're right to be against it. Look what this study shows.
But then he's throwing in that morality shit with, like, I'm not going to do anything. Then the children of, shut up.
Well, I would hope he would at least ask our politicians to do a little bit of research before making up their minds on
that would be nice.
Like Ann said, represent the people.
Yeah.
What do the people of New Jersey want?
And I can't stand legislation for adults that's based on your idea of what children need. Oh, shut the fuck up. It's always the way it is with, like, the FCC when they were trying to clamp down on everything as far as entertainment went because the children might see something. Fuck you.
You don't have children, so.
No, I don't.
You should actually.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, I got two, and I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Completely agree with you.
Legislate based on fucking kids.
I'll try to handle that. I'll try to, decide what he's going to watch on TV.
Right.
And all that shit.
It's an excuse that people give. It's like, well, they feel it's an inarguable argument that they're putting out. Like, well, what about kids? It's just another way they're making their point. It's just another little bullet in the arsenal. They don't,
Because
nonsense.
now, if you pop up an opposing viewpoint, you are against kids being raised in a nice, wholesome atmosphere. That's what they'll come at you with if you try to debate his little fucking
adults
topic.
Shouldn't have to sacrifice their own entertainment because the children will be affected.
Or anything, their occupation.
Wow.
Get the legs on the wall.
Holy
Shit.
We haven't yet.
You haven't
Smoking.
And where does he go to school?
Tarleton State in Stephenville, Texas.
All right.
Wow. Boy.
And I know you're a single mom, and you have been raising all three kids on your own, and they want to continue their
single
education.
mom.
And they
Okay,
are
so
working hard to
I
do
bet you're
that,
right. There's
and
two
you're
pilots.
traveling and doing a lot,
I think something's
it's a lot for
wrong.
you. It's a whole lot for you.
She's only been a
So our
stewardess
friend
for 7 years, supposedly. They just gave her.
What'd they give her?
Their education, and they are working hard to do that, and you're traveling and doing a lot. And it's a lot for you. It's a whole lot for you. So our friends at Shutterfly want to give you $10,000.
Oh, 10 G's.
What the fuck? I make YouTube videos.
10 G's.
Where's my 10 G's from Shutterfly?
Shit.
See how you get the sponsors to do shit?
Oh, right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They just throw money around like it's nothing.
You said, just
and we got,
the
what,
littlest
3
bit
shitty sponsors.
Oh, they're great.
I mean, of course they're great. But you know, Steven Singer loves when we call him shitty and all that.
Like, look at that little nothing, like a boring flight attendant thing. But she's a pretty good interviewer, and she got something out of it. And then they want to just give him shit.
Yeah, it makes her look good.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should do that with a flight attendant, but maybe the daughters.
Yeah.
Just by watching your show, and
wow.
I can't tell you how much it means
all right.
to us.
What? She made a dumb video.
More than anyone in
she
this
does
world.
deserve it. I know your story. I know a little bit about it, and it's a lot to be a single mom and to raise
Christ,
three
that
amazing
fucking
kids who are doing very well. They're doing real well.
One's really hot.
They're really nice people.
The fuck?
Ooh, I want to eat the hiney of that one in the middle. She's all tall and awkward. Come here, you 6'8" fucking monstrosity.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Look.
I hope they're not underage. I'm going to feel fucking shitty if they're underage.
Well, I think they're in college.
Oh, okay, good.
Who knows? I mean,
I don't know.
They cleaned up adult.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? So
they
who
look
knows?
fine.
But I mean,
Wow.
Give her a smooch right where the tinkle comes out.
That's everything Ellen was saying.
The point being, we said it should be on Ellen. She was on Ellen.
There she is.
We didn't need to spend 15 minutes.
I know, right?
We literally just watched an Ellen segment like fucking girls.
Christ. Bunch of bitches in this room.
4 middle-aged women watching Ellen. We're swooning over Ellen. 4 broads.
It was just Ellen having a nice interview.
Yeah.
There was nothing funny about it.
No.
I do find Ellen funny. I got to be honest with you. Did you like Ellen DeGeneres' stand-up there, Jimmy?
She's funny. She's a good. I remember when, I think we've talked about this, but years ago, when she came out in a young comedian special, and she had on like kind of like a Brian Reganish type of, like, you know, boyish shorts,
right,
like the tucked-in blousey '80s.
Yeah,
and she was funny. I remember she was doing something about singing into a hairbrush, and I can't remember, but back then I remember enjoying her.
Yeah.
I think before I did stand-up.
Yeah, she was about the same time as like Paula Poundstone, though,
yes,
right?
Sure,
yeah. So those two got like confused.
Well,
I confused them.
Paula Poundstone got very confused for a while.
Yes, she did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she had a hobby on the side. Whatever happened with that? She's good now.
Stepdaughters or whatever. There's some weird allegations.
Some allegations of some
alligators,
some touching, I believe.
Paula is really odd looking in that. She looks like Tiny Tim.
Is she funny? I never got into Paula Poundstone.
I remember one bit she did that I thought was fun, but something about committing suicide.
Yeah.
But it was in a public garage. So she had her car running and someone left and then came back an hour later and she was still sitting there waiting to die. I don't even remember what the jokes were.
Yeah.
All right. What else is going on?
Wow.
That was supposed to be maybe 4 minutes.
I know. Wait, we got carried away. We would if she didn't bring those goddamn daughters with her, we wouldn't have gone that deep. But
I'm just cutting the haters off at the pass.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I told you.
I'm acknowledging that was supposed to be 4 minutes. Okay, relax.
Even they know they were phoning it in.
Relax.
All right.
Do you have the Chris Christie video? There's so much to do today, but this Chris Christie, your boy Chris Christie, I gotta tell you, I don't like this guy.
I don't like
this guy. He comes across extremely pompous.
Yeah,
and he's just an asshole when it comes to this marijuana issue. And I'm not a marijuana guy. I'm not a marijuana guy.
No.
Nah.
No.
I dipped a couple times in the last year.
Oh,
a little dipping.
Sure.
Once on Rogan's podcast and once at a Pearl Jam show.
Oh.
But I'm not a smoker by any stretch of the imagination. But basically he's saying that he will never allow marijuana use in New Jersey, and it is medically proven to be bad.
Well, I don't know about that, but
so my point is this, and it's very, very simple. If he feels that way about marijuana, why doesn't he ban alcohol in his state? Well, go try to take that one on.
Well,
and alcohol is way worse than marijuana.
If you watch Boardwalk Empire, you realize that banning alcohol in Jersey and the rest of the country, not that good an idea.
Right? No, of course. and I don't want it banned.
Yeah.
But, you just sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
What was the other thing you said, Jimmy, about this? Overeating? No, what did you say?
Well, Anthony said, what about gambling? And I said, what about compulsive